And we are back, Spence. Episode 57, Season 2, Drop the Green. How you doing today?
Good, man. I had to show you where to park.
I know. I completely forgot where I was going.
Yeah, forgot where the room was.
Didn't know who you were, really. It's been so long. But I'm happy to be back. We'll see what next week brings. I won't be here.
Oh.
But I'll do my best. It's a little bit of a struggle as we get started on this new job, but we'll figure it out. But let's jump right into it, Spence. Episode 57. As always, we will dedicate this episode to somebody. This week's overview is on the driving experience.
That's right.
What do you think that's about?
I have no idea.
Y'all stay tuned.
I can't wait.
We will recap our second Atlanta race. We'll talk about who stood out, our head-to-heads, do some Chicago street course predictions, get into our Drop the Green bets. I think we got some good news. And we will close with the Choose Who Zone.
That's
How
right.
do you feel?
I feel good, man.
Good deal.
You ready?
Well, as always, my name is Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
We're in the land of shining coal, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and Amanda fence is on. I got no problems if I stand alone. In the land of shining coal, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and Amanda fence is on. I got no problems if I stand alone.
All right. Back into it. I think that's my cue to come back in. See, I don't even remember my cue to come back in.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Was that good?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
good.
So I shouldn't even have said anything.
No, you should roll with it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Episode 57. Did you want me to start off here, Spence, since it's been a little while?
Yeah, dude, hit us with something. We need to hear you talk.
Good. I'll do a lot of it if you want me to. Yeah. So if you got a picture for me, we'll go ahead and put it up. Hitting some weird numbers again. I feel like we kind of had a little bit of a bye last week.
We did.
Y'all had some good ones on 56. Mm-hmm. Even if Colby thinks that Le Mans is in Daytona.
I told him it was in France.
Even if you forgot the N in Le Mans. I mean, either way,
we know I can't talk. Like this is not news to anyone.
But it was still a good dedication. So y'all, I was jealous y'all got 56. 57 is a bit of a struggle. I know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
For 57, but
I took it.
Well, and I just, I was going to let you take it.
It's good that you didn't need to do it.
I didn't need to do it. Yeah,
again,
yeah.
For like the third time.
And again. So I picked a guy named Norm Benning. Have you ever heard this name before?
Never.
So born January 16th, 1952 in Level Grim, Pennsylvania. It's hard to read my handwriting. I saw on the show sheet y'all made last week.
Yeah.
Because Spencer makes the show sheet if I'm not here.
Yeah.
And so Spencer made the show sheet, and then we used the same one, so I went to go change it. And on one of them, it was like, can't read Austin's awful handwriting.
Yes. I wrote that. What did I write that on?
It was under bets. It was I always write the bets.
Yeah, he wrote the bets, and I think it was the wheel. It was under the wheel, wasn't it?
It was under the wheel.
It was under the wheel.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And I didn't take the time to go back and listen to actually see what it was.
But
so I can't read Austin's awful handwriting.
So
it is chicken scratch.
No, I
sometimes.
completely relate because it just happened to me.
Yeah.
But so old Norm here, pretty much all around race car driver. Grew up in Pennsylvania, raced all around Pennsylvania. There's a little. I watched a little video to kind of prep for this. He said they say there's more racetracks in Pennsylvania than any other state in the U.S. He pauses. He goes, and I've raced them all. All right, Norm. So, so dirt late models, asphalt modifieds, and then since 1989, he's kind of tried his hand at NASCAR. Whether that's mostly his own team, a handful of being with other guys, but he's got 4 Cup starts.
Dang.
And he's got, I didn't count them all because it was kind of hard, but I'd say he has about 15 D&Qs. So, and just for reference, he is D&Q, did not qualify for the Daytona 500 8 times.
God.
So he's never made a Daytona 500. He's missed it 8 times, but he will not be denied. He will try. And he will try. And he will
I love that.
Multiple DNQs in the Busch Series, and keep in mind. So another thing I got from this video, he builds all his own vehicles.
Yeah.
In his shop in Pennsylvania with volunteer crews.
No wonder he didn't qualify.
Yeah, it's starting to add up now.
Yeah.
But basically, like the same guys probably helping him on the dirt stuff and the modifieds, like the local regional stuff where it's all volunteer. I guess he's bringing home like a truck chassis. He's like, guys, how about we try this?
Yeah.
And they're like, we have no idea what we're doing. So he multiple DNQs in Busch. He was decent in ARCA. I think I saw one year, like in the 90s, he finished like 8th in ARCA points.
Dang.
So not terrible. That was for his own team. Trucks is what he has the most, I'd say, success in, with it being like a step up from ARCA. Mm-hmm. He definitely has the most starts there. Still a lot of DNQs, but still running his own truck. So he's ran multiple different numbers. I'm not going to go into too much history with him, and kind of where I want to go here is he ran the number 57 truck a lot. I think like 122 starts in it. It's his own truck, Norm Bidding Racing or whatever he calls it. 2013, they had the first truck race on dirt, which was the first NASCAR dirt race since like 1960, 70 something.
And it was in 2013?
2013, yeah.
Wow.
And it was, so that's kind of what brought us, to the unfortunate Bristol dirt.
Yeah.
But, Tony owns Eldora, Tony Stewart, and he had been begging NASCAR, let's get the trucks here, yada, yada, yada. 2013, they did it. So they had what they called the Mud Summer Classic, and all of these trucks came out, big dirt names, the regular NASCAR guys, and Norm is like, I've been racing trucks, for many years. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't, and like, here's a race where it doesn't matter how much money you have. Like, I'm just going to go out there and do what I'm going to do. Yeah, raw talent. So they did heat races, they did B's, and then they did last chance qualifier. So in the last chance qualifier, the top 5 advanced. I think there was like maybe 10 or so cars in it. Like there wasn't many people that didn't make the show, but some people didn't make the show.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the first ever time NASCAR's been at Eldora. 2013, the place is packed.
I
mean,
bet,
absolutely packed.
dude.
So Norm Benning, of course, is in the last chance qualifier, right?
Yeah.
Like he's holding his own, but you're still kind of limited. So he starts that last chance qualifier, I think like 6th or 7th. As soon as it starts, gets up there, and he's in the top 5. That bubble's 5th, right?
Yep.
So the guy behind him is his name, I want to make sure I get it right, was Clay Greenfield, I believe, something like that. Is doing all he can to wreck Norm. And dude, I'm talking, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess to make the show, right? Because Norm's sitting right on the bubble. He's
Yeah.
sitting at 5th. He transfers. Clay not transferring. And I mean, he's just going at it. And for some reason, even the audience, not only the crowd, but the commentators, the people on TV are like, this is Norm.
Yeah.
Like Norm Binning's on the bubble. He's on the transfer. This guy's trying to wreck him. And I mean, this guy's just pile driving him into the fence over and over. And Norm's just taking it.
Oh my
ripping
God.
the fence, going around. And sure enough, he makes the transfer, finishes 5th. Checker flag waves. Clay pulls up next to him. Flips them off.
No
everybody's
shot.
going nuts.
Yeah.
He pulls into the pit. So it's last chance qualifier. Next race, is the A main.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time. He pulls in like all these teams, like major truck teams, are jacking him up, fixing things for him, getting him ready to go to the A main.
Heck
He's got a skeleton crew. He doesn't have, he's got like 4 dudes that are probably
they're eating popcorn in the stands.
yeah,
They
and
thought
they're
their
drawing
night was
Social
over.
Security. Like they're even older than he is. So
Yeah.
all these major crews, and there's really cool videos of this. So definitely look it up. There's like they've done little 5-minute docu whatever on it. Norm gets out of his truck. He's just like, I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know this guy jacking my car up.
Yeah.
I don't know this guy putting new tires on it. Like, and so it's kind of like a hero story. So he goes to the A main, and what do you think happens?
He wins.
He finishes 26. That's too perfect. You know he can't win.
Yeah.
But I will say, so he finishes 26, but he did make the feature. Tony Stewart was like on record and quoted, Norm made the whole event.
Yeah.
This is NASCAR coming back. This is a true working class man. This is what the fans want to see. He hung in there, was getting the hell beat out of him for that fifth place transfer spot. Made it. Like that's dirt track racing. That's Eldora. That's NASCAR. He got the nickname Stormin' Norman.
Stormin' Norman.
After the race, he put that truck on eBay and sold it.
It's probably worth more to somebody.
I tried to look it up, and so I got all that info like off his website.
Yeah.
So that's definitely legit. And then I tried to look it up, but I couldn't see how much it sold for.
Dang.
But it had to have been destroyed. I mean, if you look at the video, like every corner, that guy was like determined to take him out.
Wow.
Couldn't do it.
Had a boy Norm.
So I saw he like did some NASCAR stuff. Like he started maybe a truck series racing like 23.
Wow.
Which he would have been close to 60.
60, yeah. God.
So
what's the oldest guy to ever be in a car?
it would have to be Morgan Shepherd.
Morgan Shepherd.
Yeah, I think Morgan Shepherd was in his 60s and like doing a starting part cup race or may as well have been a starting part because he was not. He was out to lunch. But so I could have done Morgan Shepherd today because he also raced the 57. But I thought this was a cooler story.
This is a cooler story.
So, and I thought for sure, I was like, I bet I could tell this story and then ask Spencer, what do you think happened in the A-Man?
Yeah.
And then just break your heart.
Yeah. You do love to do that. Week in and week out.
He was only 4 laps down.
Oh, yeah. That's it?
That's it.
Dude, he had a shot.
Stormin'
If he'd got one, if they would have had stages, he would have never went down like that.
You want to guess who won that race?
The
first ever
2013.
The first ever Eldora
Tony Stewart
dirt race. No, he didn't race it at all.
He didn't race it at all? Okay. Bill Elliott.
No, it's 2013. What are you talking about? He would have been older than Norm.
I'm sorry.
You want me to just tell you?
Jeff Gordon.
What are you talking about?
I'm just naming old guys.
Austin Dillon.
No shot. Yeah. Austin Dillon.
You know who won it the next year?
Austin Dillon.
Bubba Wallace.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, where Kyle Larson's knocking the wall down.
Yeah.
My dad was actually at that one.
That's cool.
Yeah. I guess I didn't see it.
Yeah. Bubba Wallace. Austin Dillon.
Austin Dillon, yeah. A true racer, some would say.
I mean, he is.
A dirt racer.
I would classify him as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to this guy you're
I would honestly classify him as the GOAT. If we're being honest. So, my guy, as probably we've kind of hinted at it, but I went with Mr. Kyle Larson in the 57 Wing Sprint car here. And I know we've talked about him a lot, so I'm not going to go over the history of how he started. We know how it... Yeah, I know. Sorry.
All right, do what you want.
Yeah, I'll do what I want. I got all stats. This came from sprintcarratings.com, okay? This is what I got. So he has raced 425 winged sprint car races. Winged cars.
Okay.
He has won 109
God.
those races.
That seems crazy.
Yeah, okay. It gets even crazier.
Yeah.
244 top 5s.
Oh, my God.
Guess how many top 10s?
352?
314 top 10s.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. 425 wing sprint car races, 314 top 10s. And you guys know, I mean, we've talked about it before, these are hard events to kind of make. I mean, you don't just qualify and go out there.
Pretty much everything has to go right. And
exactly.
he's never been full-time. I'm not saying he's never gotten a provisional in his life.
He's got plenty of those.
But he hasn't. Usually if you're full-time on Outlaws or full-time High Limit, you get a provisional if you miss, right? Mm-hmm. And he's never been full-time in either one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's gotten a provisional at some point, your Kyle Larson, please fix your car and come back. Yeah. But he's not getting provisionals every time.
Yeah. So the year I wanted to highlight, as you probably know.
2020?
Yeah, 2020. Nice. I would consider it full-time.
Basically. He kind of ran with not to keep interrupting you.
No, you're good.
This is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
They call it a true outlaw schedule. Mm-hmm. And so a true not to be confused with the actual World of Outlaws, but a true outlaw schedule is when you don't run full-time on any series. You just hop across the country to every big money race you can.
And that's what he did.
That's
exactly what he did. He ran 68 races in 2020, won 32 races.
Insane.
52 top 5s and 61 top 10s out of 68 races. There were 7 races he did not finish in the top 10 in those races.
So wild.
That's crazy. He is a 2023 High Limit champion. Mm-hmm. He is a 2020 Indiana Midget Week champion. He is a 2020 PA Speed Week champion. And in 2010, he won King of the West.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that Speed or SprintCarRatings.com had was his total payout. Now, granted, this is not all the money he received, of course, but this is for the races he won. This is what he got paid over his
that year.
No.
Okay, career.
All time.
Career. Okay.
All time. They looked it up, and I will say there was an asterisk. They didn't have payouts before 2009.
Okay.
So
that was like probably $37.
Yeah. Again. Okay. You take a gander. You want to take a guess, or you just want me?
That's the weird
time.
thing is like sprint car races do not pay as much as late model races.
No. So
I don't want to overshoot it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's close to $1 million.
2.8.
Are you serious?
$1 million. $2,879,735 in payout.
That's
Kyle
nuts.
Larson has
See,
made.
and I wonder what would be a hard stat to find is how much of that was 2020.
Oh, it had it.
It did have it?
It had it right under $500,000.
Wow, that's less than I would have thought, to be honest.
He won more in 2021. He ran more races in 2020.
When he went to Hendrick.
And in 2021, he ran I think he ran 68 in 2020, and I think he ran like 40-something in 2021.
Okay.
And he made more money. He made $488,000 in 2021 and like $433,000 in 2020.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
But I literally from 2020 till like this year, it's been $300,000 plus. Yeah. Every single year he's won.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so they had a nice little. It's crazy.
What a little side hustle.
For real. For real. And of course, I guarantee he probably doesn't get that amount of money from it. I guarantee it goes straight back to that.
I would think it's 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Is what it usually is.
That's a hell of a side hustle.
Yeah. No, it is. Can I say something?
Of course. I'm pretty much done with stats.
The only thing I want to talk about, so the 57 is owned by Paul Silva.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything on him.
No, I didn't.
So it's hard to find anything on him. Mm-hmm. But he is a genius. Obviously, he has one of the best cars. A lot of people like as much as people don't like Kyle Larson in NASCAR, the same thing happens in sprint cars.
I bet you they hate him more.
He only wins because he has Paul Silva, building his cars and everything. And Paul Silva does some crazy stuff, but he's also really frugal too. So a lot of people think that, like, for some reason, people think like, oh, Kyle Larson's flipping the bill on all this. Kyle Larson does nothing but show up.
Yeah.
I hope everyone understands that. Paul Silva builds the cars. He's paying for everything. And then at the end of the day, he takes like 50%.
Yeah.
Pretty much standard deal. Especially if you have a good driver like Kyle Larson, you're like, if the paycheck's $100,000, I get 50, you get 50.
Yeah.
So I just wanted a few weird things about Paul Silva. Like, he doesn't do interviews. Just refuses to.
You think we'd get him on?
No, absolutely not. No. So he doesn't do interviews. He doesn't like to talk. He doesn't like to say what he's doing. And as I mentioned, he's really frugal. I sent you a video on Twitter today because I was just thinking about this. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw
it. But they were putting a tire plug in Larson's car in the middle of a race.
Yep.
So instead of like changing the tire, which 10 out of 10 people would do.
Yeah.
He's plugging the tire.
I know.
Right.
I saw that.
Just
it
like
made,
the standard,
it made 0 cents.
Yeah, just like the plug you would buy at Walmart.
Yes.
Waller it out.
Yeah.
Stick the plug in with the rubber cement or whatever. He had another one to where they had like a hole in a wing, and he took his clipboard that he puts his notes on and duct taped it to the wing, and they went out and ran the A main and he won.
Wow.
So very frugal, but then he does stuff to, like, I think he kind of like messes with people. So earlier this year, Kyle Larson was winning a ton of sprint car races, and his headers, like, it's kind of hard to see here, but the headers that come out, they were pointed up,
straight up, instead of
out, like straight up.
Yeah.
So if you look at like drag cars, they put theirs straight up because the downforce brings the car down. And I guess no one had ever thought of this in sprint cars, and Paul Silva started doing it. And everyone's like, they're like, that doesn't, there's no way that does anything. Well, then Kyle Larson goes on a tear.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a month later, everybody had their
headers straight
up.
Yeah.
And they ended up making rules about it. And then I think it was at Knoxville maybe earlier this year. I can't remember. It was some race. They weren't getting exactly what they wanted during hot laps. They come back in. Paul Silva takes it. So this wing's white, right?
Yeah.
So he takes this white wing off, puts one on that's like not painted, not wrapped or anything. It's just straight aluminum. Sticks like a duct tape 57 on it. They go back out and they sit on the pole.
Oh my!
And everyone's
God.
like, "What are you?
Yeah, what's up with
What's
this
up
wing?
with that?" You know? And they're like, it just had to have been something weird. Like 2 weeks later, he does it again. And so some people are like, he's just messing with people, because he's got Kyle Larson too.
Yeah.
So you don't know what it is, which honestly, that gives you like so much rope to just really screw with people.
It does.
Because how much of that could be Kyle, or how much of that is him?
Yeah. I think that's why the 50-50 split's probably perfect for
Probably
him.
perfect.
Because
so
it's
if you
probably
could just put on a wing that's not painted, and just psych everybody out, that's the craziest thing.
Especially when you're already doing weird stuff with your headers.
Right.
You're just planting seeds.
And then you're plugging your tires.
Yeah.
And then they I think one of the Knoxville Nationals that Larson won, they started the race on used tires. Like, he does stuff like that. There's a video I saw of him. This has been like last year. Someone was tweeting at Kyle Larson, like, of course you won. You have all the money. Which, once again, Kyle Larson doesn't pay. Much less does Kyle Larson know any of the parts on this car.
That is funny that fans give him shit about that.
He has no idea.
He has no clue. If you just listen to him talk, he's never been like, I know what's going on. He's one of the first guys to say, I have no clue. Yeah, I have no idea.
He shows up with a helmet.
Yeah.
And that's it. But there's a video of Paul Silva after a race, like at a dumpster by the race, and he's like picking up parts. He's like, this one's still good. I can put this in the press and straighten it.
Oh my God.
And he's winning all these big money races, Larson. So anyway, I just wanted you got to give him his respect if we're talking 57.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty cool.
No, that's good.
Did you have anything else on that?
No, that was it, man. I just wanted to go through some of those stats. Just completely highlighting the stats that he has in a sprint car. And I didn't even really they had on there his midget, his non-winged cars too, and of course he hasn't nearly raced as many as those, but his percentages are just as good. He had
just as good. And the cool thing is he raced Larson raced a lot of midgets for Keith Coons Racing, which, if you remember the Chili Bowl, they had like a fleet.
Yes.
And then the past couple of Chili Bowls, Larson's been running for Paul Silva.
Okay.
And so he got this last win with Paul Silva. Which is pretty cool.
That is cool. But, all right, you want to move on to the driving experience?
Sorry. You just mentioned Larson, so I had to talk
I know.
I had to talk for an hour.
You did. We kept that way shorter than I thought we would, honestly.
Good. Yeah. No, I'm really jacked. This is basically my highlight tape coming up here.
Do you want to give people the background? Or you want me to do it?
So
I'll
start it up. So my sister texted me about a week or two ago and was like, "What are you doing?" I guess this was last Saturday. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I have a tea time." And she's like, "Well, I've got something for you." And I was like, "Well, I can always move it, And she's like, "Well, I got an early birthday present for you." They just reopened Newport Speedway. Yep. Which is a pretty legendary track. If you look back on the history on it, it's been around forever.
I did a little research after I got back from it, and I didn't realize it was as old as it was, and kind of like you said, I probably wouldn't personally use the word legendary, but definitely
I apologize.
I just don't want you to get a bigger head than you already have about saying you raced on a legendary track.
Legendary.
You raced. I don't want to hear the words coming out of your mouth. I raced on a legendary track.
Okay, I see.
So he raced on a notable track.
It was a track.
It was a track. Very cool history. I didn't write anything down, but if you guys get a chance to look up Newport and this speedway, it's pretty cool. So,
and it's crazy because just 2 years ago it was it had been shut down forever.
Yes,
and they turned it into a salvage yard.
Yep.
And 2 years ago, even a year ago, I was by there, and it was announced at that point it had been bought. They were going to open it. They delayed it. And, this place looked like a dump just about a little over a year ago.
Your sister told me that it was bought by the guy that owns the Cotton Eye Joe.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So the guy who owns the Cotton Eye Joe in Knoxville, if you're familiar with, apparently bought this track to do.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. Just a businessman.
Just
Doing business
I like
things.
his business.
I do too.
Like his business mind.
It's honestly open a country bar, buy a rundown track. It sounds
Right.
like I want to be him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could give me like businesses to invest in, that's what I would want to invest in.
Yes, 100%.
Man, that's cool. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. So long story short, I know we're dragging this out. She bought me a driving experience at Newport Speedway. Mm-hmm. It was the Jeffrey Earnhardt driving experience. So basically just a name. He owns it.
Yep.
And they travel around and they do these experiences. So they'll like book a weekend at a track. They bring their cars. They had 6 cars, I believe, maybe even 7.
Yeah, they had. I think they had 6 cars. One was the ride-along car, and then 5 drivable cars.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had a ride-along car, and then like they had like a limited late model, like a super late model, a modified, and some other stuff. It was kind of hard to tell what they were. Everything looked the same except for the modified.
Exactly. Open wheel modified.
Open wheel modified.
Yep.
So my sister, I guess, did some research. She found out the modified was the fastest, and so that's what she booked me. Thank you so much. So I go to the safety meeting. You know, we get there. Well, number one, we get there. Of course, my sister and her fiance Forrest,
Yep.
one of our good buddies, is there to watch me. And then I'm in the driver's meeting, quote unquote, and I see Spencer walk by.
That's right.
We're an hour from home, by the way. And I'm like, and I don't know if you noticed, I start knocking on the window, and everyone in the drive, because we're up in the suite for the driver's meeting, everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, no, I can't explain myself, you know, and you just keep walking.
I did not even know that. I didn't know that.
So anyway, we go up to the driver's meeting. It's like, 10, 12 of us, drivers, and then the guy running it, he's like, yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to go out there, and we got, they're like, when you come through, you'll lift at the start-finish line. You'll follow these pink lines. Don't touch the gas. When you come out, there's a green box. Touch the gas. Lift when you see the red box. Follow the tape. Don't hit the gas again until you see the green box. And, like, okay. That lasted, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I literally learned nothing, to be honest. And nothing against him at all. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I learned nothing.
What did he tell you at the end?
Oh, so yeah, that's the other thing. At the end, he goes, someone asked like a pretty legitimate question, like, well, where should we go when we do this? He's like, you'll go here. He's like, hey, but don't worry about it. As soon as you strap in that car, you'll forget everything I said. That's comforting.
Yeah. Was he right?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they were put all of us out there at the same time.
Yes.
Which was nuts. I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Because this place is tiny.
It is so small. The only thing that they did by themselves was the ride along, really. Yes. And it was honestly the ride along for like the first 3 guys.
I think they were putting rubber on the track.
Yes.
Is what I would think.
Mm-hmm. Literally, you were the 3rd guy to do the ride along, I think. The second guy.
Yeah.
Second guy to do the ride along, and then after the 3rd guy, dude, they started putting people in the late models.
Yeah.
Like
immediately
after they get off the track, and I was like, no, like, okay, maybe they're done with ride alongs.
Yeah.
No, they put somebody else in that ride along car, and next thing you know,
they told us on the safety meeting. They're like, yeah, we're gonna give you earbuds. You slide them under your helmet, and they're like, we're at such a small track, we have to do one frequency.
Okay.
So remember your car number, and like, if you hear your car number, it's you. If you don't, just keep racing.
Mm-hmm.
And the spotter guy came out. His name was Tag.
Tag.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this guy, to be honest. But he came out, and they're like, this is our spotter, Tag. He's like, yeah, I've spotted for all your heroes, I guarantee it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
he was that guy?
He was one of those guys, And he's like, but I'm going to tell you.
Probably fits him well with the Jeffrey Earnhardt crowd.
Yeah. Like, it was just, like, unnecessarily ego.
Yeah.
It's 9 a.m.
Yeah. Hot.
Yeah.
Dude.
And maybe I'm biased as you hear the rest of my story.
Yeah.
But this was my first impression of the guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird. He's like, I will tell you if you're behind somebody, he's like, you're going to catch somebody, somebody's going to catch you. It's all part of it. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, we're not out here to set track records.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no, we are.
First off. He's like, don't try to be somebody you're not. And I was like, I will.
Yeah.
Because I'm just delusional enough to think that I am. So anyway, I know I'm really dragging this out, but we get down there, we put our fire suits on. You just slip a fire suit on over your regular clothes.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, grab a helmet. And you just grab a helmet. And at some point, I'm waiting for someone to like come by and check. And I don't know why. And I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Because it was super laid back, which is the way I like things. But like, at no point does anyone check anything.
This is worse than Disney World. Disney World, at least when you get in the coaster, somebody walks by and checks that seat.
No, none of that. So then they're just like, there's a group of chairs under there under a tent. If you have a ride along, my sister, thank you again, bought a ride along. So I put my helmet on. I'm kind of in between a small and a medium helmet, I find out. It's a me problem, 100%. Small's too small, medium's just a little loose. So this one guy does a ride along, and the driver, they're like, yeah, he's a Ferrari driver. Like, he drives for Ferrari. I don't know what that means, but like they're like, he's a professional race car driver for Ferrari. Cool. So the first guy gets in, they're like, who's next?
Yeah.
Just like that. And I'm like,
I'll go.
And they're like, all right, come on. And so I just walk up to the car, and I'm expecting like, so do yada yada yada, and he's like, the guy's literally like, put your helmet on. I'm like, of course. So I put my helmet on, I put the strap on, and I like tighten it up, and I accidentally put it a little tight. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk to the mic. I put it a little tight, my head's leaned back, and then they put a Hans device on me. You know the Hans device?
Yeah.
And they strap that Hans. Well, when they strap that Hans, because my helmet's back, it sticks my neck like this, straight back. And I've never worn a Hans. Have you ever worn a Hans?
No,
I've never worn a Hans at all in my life.
I don't think anybody has worn a Hans unless you've been in a race car. Yeah.
I hadn't either.
Yeah.
And I'd always heard drivers like, you can't move or whatever. And I just thought that was just what they said. Well, I go like this to move my neck forward. I can't move my neck. And I'm like, oh my God. And then, at this point, the guy's still there. He's like, left foot in, then your right foot. Let's go. Come on. I'm like, okay. And so I get in. They just like strap me in. And, they pull it tight, which is good. And the guy's like, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah. Well, my head's cranked. My head's cranked, dude. And I'm kind of like having a little bit of a panic attack because I'm like, I can't move my neck. My head's cranked. I'm not in control at all. I'm in the passenger seat of a steel death trap. That's how I felt at the time. It was a little dramatic, but that's how I felt. So I do like 3 laps of that. I learned nothing because he's actually like lifting where they're supposed to and everything. But it was cool. I'm glad I did it because it got me used to the track. So ride along. If you ever do one of these ride experiences, which this whole overview, the point is to like get y'all to do something like this because it's completely worth it. So if you do get the chance to do it, do a ride along. Even if your neck's cranked and you're kind of panicking, it's worth it because it gets you used to the track and it's like, oh, there's the wall. Like, this is the sensation. It did help. So I get out of there. And they start running all these late models, right? And all the guys, I'm like, God, these guys look like they're going so slow.
It did look slow from the stands. It did look slow. Now, granted, the track is a 0.4 mile oval.
High banked.
Yeah.
High
banked, but it is a 0.4 mile oval.
And they want you lifting more than you're in the gas.
100%. Yeah.
So I think probably 10 minutes goes by and they're like, you're up next because I just happen to be sitting there.
Yeah.
Once again, no organization or whatever. It was just like whoever the guy sees, that's who they get. So I'm like, okay. He's like, all right, Austin, you're number whatever late model. And I'm like, hey, are you sure I'm not in the modified?
Yeah.
He goes, huh, shit, you're right.
So if you would have went, they would have just put you in a modified.
Put me in a modified.
Or in a late model.
A late model, I'm sorry, Yeah, which is way less money, you know what I mean? Like, my sister paid good money for this modified.
Yeah.
And also, I was told it's the fastest. Like, you're not about to take that away from me.
You need chump changing my ass.
But he's like, I guess just go over there. It's like a hot pit road, like cars are coming in and out.
Dude, I will say, I'm not in a fire suit. You guys had a tent. You wouldn't have survived without that tent, that fire suit, I don't feel like. Dude,
no.
I'm talking, granted, I got there at like 9:15. Cars were not on the track till like 10, okay? And I was like, dude, it is getting hot. Like, this track has no shade.
No.
Just baking in the sun.
In a concrete jungle.
It was so hot. And I think the other thing I thought of why it was hotter is because I drove my Jeep there. no doors, no windows. I took the interstate.
Yeah.
Felt amazing.
Yeah.
And that morning, I was like, okay, it's going to be good. Dude, every second that went by, it just heated up 5,000 degrees. It was so hot.
I believe it.
And so we're sitting there waiting. We finally get to see him do his ride along, and then I'm like, okay, finally. Then it's another 20 minutes before you get into your
to
modified.
no fault of my own. I was sitting front row.
Yeah, he was. I don't know where I was going with that, except that, and I may be jumping ahead a little bit, so I'll let you get back to it. But when you get into the modified, there was a complication with the modified.
Yes. So they finally called my name, and it was hot. Yeah. In general, but also, I mean, hot. Like, it was also a hot pit road. Like, cars are coming in and out.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, just, after he's like, oh shit, you're right. Yeah, just walk to the modified. And there's like cars coming in, and I'm just like, I guess look both ways. Frogger across there.
And you also have to remember, these are not professional. These are you.
These are guys.
These are Smo Joes off the street.
And they're like, and literally in the safety meeting, they're like, everyone knows how to drive a stick, right? And it's like, of course I do, what I mean? But it's like, if I was somebody in that room that didn't, and no one said anything, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
I'm not saying a word.
So now I'm like, I'm looking around me, I'm like, how many of these people know what the clutch pedal is? Like, is somebody going to... So that was crazy, too. Luckily, nothing happened, but... So I get in the car, right? You take a picture, and then you put your helmet on. I'm kind of like, okay, well, make sure my helmet's on flat.
Yep.
And then so when they put the horns on, I was like, I'm even going to like lean forward a little bit.
So when they put it on, if anything, you won't be.
I won't be like that, yeah. Because I'm a little claustrophobic, just to be completely honest with everybody in here. I'm a little claustrophobic. So I get in the car, and once again, they haven't told me anything. They're like, yeah, just get in the car. Well, like the steering wheel and everything's on the top, and they're like, just put your helmet on, get in the car. So I get in the car, and no one says anything. I've got my helmet on. It's baking.
Yeah.
It's baking, right? And I'm a little nervous, too, to be completely honest. And I'm a little claustrophobic. And then I realize I can't move my neck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this sucks. What am I doing? And then they come over there, and they tighten me in. Now, I'm kind of a little guy, so they're, like, really tightening me down.
Yeah.
And really tightening me down. And I'm like, okay. And then I don't have a steering wheel. I haven't put the steering wheel on because, it's like that quick release. And they're like, we will do the steering wheel. I figured they would do the steering wheel for you.
Yes.
Just like make sure it didn't come off.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, like, and he's like, he doesn't have a steering wheel on. Like, I'm an idiot. And hey, I'm sure I am.
Yeah.
I'm sure I am. So I should have put my steering wheel on, but I was a little nervous.
Yep.
That maybe I would do it wrong. So they come in, they just clip my steering wheel on. And they said, pull back on your steering wheel to make sure it's clicked. When you did. So I do that. The whole steering column starts moving back and forth.
Oh.
And I'm like, maybe that's
yeah. Is that how
I've never been in a race car.
Exactly. Is that how it's supposed to
And I'm like,
to work?
maybe it's adjustable.
Maybe
this is like on my truck. I pop the thing out. Maybe this has a telescopic steering wheel. So now I'm looking for like the HVAC and the heated seats and all that. But so luckily I just like keep wiggling it, and the guy's like, everything good? I'm like, I guess. I'm like wiggling it. He's like, let me, I don't know. He's like, slide these under. It's like the headphones. So you just slide the headphones under, and then they get somebody over there with a crescent wrench, and he just like starts going to town.
Dude, when I talk about going to town, I got to witness all this because you got in the car.
How long was it? Because I can tell you how long it
had
felt.
to be 10 minutes. Like, no, and that was a long time. Like 10 minutes. We're sitting around there. 3 or 4 people have done their laps, gotten out of it, and you're still sitting in the car, have not moved.
Yeah.
One guy is over here with a crescent wrench, calls another guy. That guy comes over there, and then that guy leaves. This guy is still here with a crescent wrench. Literally 10 minutes. I started a video on my phone.
I thought,
and I had to cancel
it.
But
I thought I was being dramatic.
No, dude, it was 10 minutes because I started a video, on my phone to get a video of it. I had to cancel it because after 8 minutes you hadn't moved, and I was like, I don't even know if he's gonna get to go.
I thought the same thing. So I'm sitting there, and it's hot, right? And I hate to gripe about that because like I know the Cub guys, like it's still wide open. There's no windows in this thing. There's no windshield. But it's so hot because I'm wearing like jeans underneath a freaking fire suit. You know what I mean? And then I'm like panicking a little bit. Just to be honest, I'm like panicking because I'm like, I can't move my neck. I'm just not comfortable. I get like a little spacey. This is just like, if you want to figure out every insecurity you have in life, go do a driving experience. Because I found them all out in 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't move. I can't move my neck. And I'm doing like this weird stuff in my neck. I'm like, it'll be okay. It's fine once you get going. And then like I have enough time to think. I'm like, you know what? They never told me like how the seatbelt works.
Yeah.
Like they just strap me in.
Like,
what if this thing? Because I'm a huge worrywart too.
Yeah.
Once again, all my insecurities are coming out at this moment. Like I really found out who I was, and all I'm doing is driving 10 laps of a modified, and I just found out everything about myself. And I'm like, what if like something bad happens? Not to me. What if the dude that lied and said he could drive stick hits me? This thing catches on fire. I don't know how to get this seat out. And then I look at the window net, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know how that works. Like I see that there's like a latch. Which, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the latch. So I'm like, okay, I take a deep breath, and then I look down. I'm like, I don't know how this seatbelt works. I don't know how this seatbelt works. I've got 4 laps, and so I'm kind of like freaking out a little bit. And then I'm getting hot, and then I'm sweating, and they have the earbuds like super loud, so when the engine's on, so I'm freaking out, and then it's like, car one. And so like 10 minutes goes by, right? I felt like it was 10 minutes. So I'm glad you said that.
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes goes by, and I'm like, man, I'm panicking. Like I'm still gonna do this, but like I just need to stretch my legs.
Get me out of here.
And so I'm like, hey man, to the poor guy in the crescent wrench, sweating his ass off, working his ass off. I'm like, hey man, is there any way I could just like get out and readjust a little bit? He's like, man, I'm almost done. I just have to get you right back in. Hey man, I understand. My bad. Cool. And that kind of like brings it back to normal, right? Okay, you're being a little bit of a pussy. All right. And I'm like, okay, man, I'm sorry. I just wanted to see. He's like, man, I just had to put you right back in. I'm almost done. I was like, I get it. And I'm appreciative. And this is going to be the best day of my life. So he goes back to where he's like, well, what do you need? Is everything okay? I was like, man, I just need to readjust. It's just a little hot in here. He's like, okay, no, I'm about to be done. I was like, I really appreciate it, man. I really do. Like, I understand. I probably sound like a little baby. So I'll let you play this video. One more thing I have to say. So they trick these cars up to where they have 3 gears. You start in second. Backstretch, they want you to go to third. So in my 10 minutes of sitting there, I'm like, well, let me see what it's like. Like, what's the throw? Like, do I need to go? Am I going to go down there and like, or is it just going to be, So I put it in third. It's not running. The car's not running. I put it in third. It won't go back to second. And I don't know why. I don't know if they've got it tricked up, and I've got the clutch in, and I'm like, and I'm banging this motherfucker, dude. It's not going. And so finally I get down there, like, on top of the roof, start it up. It's okay. I was like, it's in third. They're like, just go. It's in third, dude. Like, I don't. And so I started up. You can play it now. So I started up, and they're like, dude, just go. We already hate you because you asked to go. So you're supposed to come up here and pull to the white barrel. This was said in the safety meeting. And then you wait for them to clear you. And I'm still in third gear. I don't know how I got it to roll.
You got it to roll fine.
I got it to roll fine. Right? And it didn't really bog. And they're like, all right, modified clear. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm really going to have to feather this. And I think it took me a while to get clear.
It did.
It looks like these guys are crawling. And honestly, the videos my sister took from the outside of the car, it looked like I was going really slow too. So right now I'm just sitting here waiting. I've got the earbuds in. They just go over my ears, and then they're gonna be like, modified. And I wish we had the spotter audio because that's the best part of this whole story. But so finally, they're like modified clear, and you're supposed to just stay on the apron, and they'll clear you up to the track, which is all super cool, man. Like you're literally listening to a spotter to be like, and he would just call me modified. He was using car numbers for everyone else, and he just called me modified because I was driving a modified, right? And this is a GoPro on top. Oh, nice. Okay. You missed my.
I missed it. I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
So I finally get cleared.
Oh no!
Go back.
There. Oh my God, you're still sitting there. Okay.
So I go out, I get cleared, I start rolling, and it starts chugging, dude. It's chugging because I'm in third gear,
Yeah.
and it stalls. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. And so I start tapping the roof. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they because I don't think it'll start again. And the spotter's like, hey, just press start. Push clutch in, start. Mm-hmm. So I started back, and I'd give it some gas, and I'd dump the clutch. And I just go. And it went.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like getting used to it. You know, I come in here, and then they finally they're like, okay, modified, full speed, go. And I'm like, I'm going to start giving it hell.
Yes.
And so I come down to 1 and 2, and I'm pretty much like as wide open as you can get. I'm still trying to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. And I'm still getting used to it. And you can watch the front tires shake. These are cold tires, right?
Yes.
And so this is where I really still kind of following the rules. I'm hitting the pink lines perfect. I'm like, man, this is kind of easy. Panic's out the window. And then I start driving it deep, and the front tires start chattering. But I just stay in it. It's taking it. I mean, it doesn't like it, but it's taking it. And here's where it's like modified lift points. Hit your lift points. Well,
this
then I get
is the third lap, people.
Yeah, the third lap. And I get stuck behind somebody, and they're like, if you get stuck behind somebody, we'll give you extra laps. Just chill.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to. I don't know what this guy's going to do either.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of chilling. I ended up passing like 3 people.
You did.
So, because I'm catching them immediately. And I know, like, outside, it didn't, and Spencer's up there in the stands.
I am in the stands.
And I know on the outside, it didn't look near as fast as what it felt like, and I've never drove a race car in my life. So, but I feel like I'm giving it hell.
Yeah.
And so I finally get past this guy, give it hell into this corner, and this is where he's like, modify, easy, run your line, run your line. And then I come in here, and I'm supposed to lift at the flag stand. I started lifting at the flag stand just because I liked really driving into 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. But 3 and 4, like, I'm not hitting that lift box at all.
No.
At all. And I'm dragging a little brake, and then I'm already on the gas.
Yes.
And then I'm flat-footing. And I'm flat-footing. I guess these things aren't used to flooring it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like going, and so it's kind of stuttering. And then I get behind this guy, and they're like, all right, run your line. He's like, modified, just stay high, run your line. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to run high a little bit. And I'm just really going to dig and get it. And here's where I just really start getting super aggressive.
Yeah, he went aggressive hard.
And everyone that's seen the video, they're like, oh, dude, you're missing the bottom. And maybe the bottom is a preferred line, but I wanted to follow the pink stripes that they put on there.
If you can see them on his left side tires here, there's these pieces of tape that have put down, and that's where they wanted you. That's where they wanted
me to be.
Yeah. That's where they wanted you to put your left side tires. But oh my gosh, I mean, he does a really good job here of actually after he got yelled at.
Dude, I hit my marks every lap, but so he's like yelling at me every lap.
Yeah,
every lap. He's like modified, lift points. You're not hitting your lift points, and I mean, I'm just like, and really, it doesn't seem as crazy on the onboard as it felt. And there was one lap, it might be this lap, where I did get a little like crazy off a 2, and it washed up towards the wall a little bit, and I was like, that was kind of sick. And it might have been that one. It's hard to tell because everything feels bigger in the car.
Yeah.
But eventually in 3 and 4, the modified's like lift. The spotter's like modified lift, drag brake, go. And then he's like yelling at me. He's like, good.
Yeah.
Good. He's like, I could tell he was like genuinely happy.
Yeah. This is where he got washed up. Right there.
Right there.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's rewatch it for everybody at home there. That's where he got a little high.
It says I was getting braver. Which was a weird feeling because the back end didn't kick out. It just washed.
Yeah, let's go just a little bit more. Okay. So this one.
It just washed. Like the front end got light and it just washed up there.
Yeah, I mean you got out of it big time listening to it. Wow.
But at one point, the spot, like when I first started, the spotter was like, modified, relax, the tires are smoking. These are cold tires. And I figured he meant like the front tires because I did hear him chatter.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I gotta warm them up. I should, if I wanted to look like a professional, I would have scrubbed them a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, man, I just was digging for everything I could get, and it feels so much more intense. I know looking at it, you're probably like, it looks like you're going 60 miles an hour.
Which you probably were.
I probably were.
Yeah,
I probably was.
Yeah. But you're going 60 with freaking 400 horse under the hood there.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, you see how big the tires are on the back of that thing? I was like, there's no way I can spin this thing out.
And I thought that too until I actually saw someone spin.
But he had a flat tire.
He did have a flat tire, yeah. But he almost hit the wall.
He did. Now, he did. The guy that was like in charge came down as that when that guy had the flat tire and was like, that was one of the most impressive things I've seen. Like, that guy handled it really well.
Yeah.
So then when they call you off, they're like, just hold the clutch in and coast around the bottom. I thought I was supposed to go in there.
Is that what you went?
That's why I got so low. So then I, dumped the clutch a little bit and then just keep rolling it. But I wanted to stay as low as possible just for all the other guys because I got screwed by a couple guys.
You did.
So I didn't want to get in their way. So I come back down. And, dude, I'm just beaming, man. I'm like, I'm jacked up. I could have done 40 more laps.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
I think they ended up giving me about 15, 16 laps just because I got stuck behind this guy. So this guy right here, not the guy that worked on my car. He comes up, unfortunately stops the GoPro. So I have no proof of this happening. But so
we'll watch to the end just in case it changed from the last time I seen it.
So he cuts it off. I have no proof of this happening. But so I swear to God, and maybe they say this to everybody, but it was said to me, and I'd already paid. I didn't pay for anything extra. They couldn't get anything out of me. He leans down, takes the window down, and he goes, "You got some experience doing this or something?" And I was like, "Dude, I've never drove a race car in my life." He goes, "That was really good, man."
Wow.
And I was like, it was the best day of my life. I don't know what to say other than that. So thank you so much to my sister, Shelby. Best birthday present I could ever receive. Long-winded, all that to say, definitely do a driving experience. I think Spencer's going to go do it.
Yeah, I would love to. After seeing that, it was one of those things that just hearing you talk about it, I thought we needed to do an overview on it just to see, because I mean, we do this every week and we talk about what it's like to do it. And I know it doesn't equate at all, but the only thing I have is iRacing. That's the only thing that I can do consistently. That's anything close to what these guys do every Sunday. And so actually getting into a car and seeing what the guys go through, even if it's for 5 laps, 10 laps, whatever it is, to think about, they do that. They have to hit their marks every single time. And you didn't even have to worry about people around you.
I didn't race anybody.
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
So it's one of those things. I think it's, if you have the chance and you're into it like we are, it needs to be done.
It does. And I'll say, one of the guys that was there, it was like his 60th birthday, and he had a shirt printed out with like a big white screen print on it. He's like, "Everybody sign this shirt. It's my 60th birthday."
You should have said, "I'll only sign if you subscribe to Drop the Green."
I should have. Yeah, but I was in the middle of a panic attack for some reason. No, I had already gotten done at this point, so I was just like, I need to go.
Yeah.
And I just, another funny story about being done. I'll tell in a second. So I signed his T-shirt, and he's like, "Man, have any of y'all ever done this before?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "Dude, I've done Fontana in a cup car, like a cup car, a driving experience car." He said, "I went 175. He said, "That felt like driving on the interstate." He said, "This feels twice as fast."
Wow.
Because it was just like a nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Late. He was in a late model, short track. He's like, "This one way much." He's like, "I'm not saying anything against going 175. That was cool."
Yeah.
He's like, "But 175, it was just like long straightaways. I was by myself. You just arc it in the corner, and everything was pretty straightforward." He's like, "This one was fun."
Yeah.
So
you probably had to do way more.
Yeah. I mean, you really did.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to drag brake and everything. I mean, you probably could have gotten away with no brake, but it would have chattered.
Especially where they were telling you to lift.
Yes. Yeah. It would have chattered even more. But so when I got done, there was one other guy that was supposed to drive the modified that day. And so I get out. He's like, "Dude, how was the modified? I'm supposed to get it." I was like, "Man, first off, amazing.
Yeah.
Second, I didn't lift where they told me to. I barely dragged brake, and I went wide open on the straightaways. Like just to the point to where it was sputtering. I was like, so I would just give it hell.
Yeah.
That's what I did." He's like, "Man, awesome." So he gets in. I guess he fired it up. I don't even know if he fired it up.
He fired it up and did a lap and a half, I think.
Oh, did he get out there?
Yeah, he got out there.
I didn't see him get out there.
He got out there and went around the track, like literally got out of the pits, got on the back straightaway.
I did not know that.
And came around the start-finish line and then parked it.
Okay. So, I did not know that. I didn't know he got out of the pits at all.
Yeah.
So all I saw was the guy get out, they took the hood off
Yeah.
and they started working on it, and then they sent us all home.
Yes.
So like, they basically decommissioned the car.
They did.
So I like to think that I gave it so much hell that it broke.
I mean, pretty much. He did not get anywhere close to full speed. Because, like I said, he came on the backstretch, and then he had to pull right back down into pit road. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
I will say all those late models came in, and even after they had like ran their 10 laps or whatever, there was still like rubber balls on the tires, and they were still like kind of gray. Mm-hmm. And when mine came back in, dude, they were black.
Yeah.
They were black. They were
heated them
hot.
up.
And there was streaks of rubber down the side of the car. So
there were streaks of rubber. You took a picture of it.
So I was like, okay,
yeah. So the other funny thing is my perspective from the stands is we're sitting there and they're kind of like releasing everybody to go, and like 4 guys have walked off, and Sanders stops and takes a picture right there with the rubber on the side of your car, and everybody else is walking by.
Because I saw it and I was like, I did that.
Yeah.
But I was also trying to get the hell out of there because they were still working on the modified.
They were still working on the modified.
And I was like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah,
so.
we got to go.
But no, I definitely best day ever. I wish I could have done 100 laps.
Yeah.
They said with that same experience, Jeffrey Earnhardt racing experience, driving experience, whatever it's called, that they'll do a weekend at Bristol. And you'll go out there, you'll run laps, they'll eat lunch, and then like they'll send somebody with you, you'll run some more laps, and the next day, the whole group, like 10 of you, you'll run like a 100-lap race.
No shot.
He said, we just did one. He's like, it sounds nuts. He said, the only thing we did, we had one guy spin himself. He was running in the back.
Wow.
He's like, other than that, everything went perfectly.
So they're going to do it again.
So it's a package you can buy.
Dang.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
That's good. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Enough about me. I think we're ready to go into
let's go on to Atlanta here.
Atlanta race rating. What'd you give it?
This was tough because of, as you guys know how I feel about super speedways, but golly, every time we've gone back here since that first one, it's gotten better. And I gave it an 8.3.
Okay.
I know it's probably a little high, but I gave it an 8.3. Just, dude, the closing laps at this super speedway is incredible. Like, literally, the passing down that final stretch was impeccable. Like, you're not seeing that at Daytona. You're not seeing that at Talladega. You're not seeing it anywhere that we go that's a speedway track other than Atlanta, the way that they can make those runs and do it by themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty much, which to me is a good race. Like,
It was good, yeah.
Now, again, we're going to get into it, but the craziness and the big one, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that sucked. But other than that, dude, the actual racing, being able to pass on these runs was really good. So
it was really good. So I gave it an 8.1.
Okay, so we were right around. Yeah.
I made a tweet earlier in the week, and I just want to get your, I like to be a little, snotty on Twitter.
Yeah, you do.
So I made a tweet. I just want to see if you agree with it. Keep in mind, I don't know if y'all know this, for Atlanta, they run the super speedway horsepower, which is a little over 500. Sorry, I just want to find this. All right. This was like 3 days before Atlanta. I said it's my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Fans have been bitching about no horsepower and gimmicks running the sport all summer.
True.
And now we will get a 90+% yes on the Jeff Gluck poll for a reconfigured 1.5 mile track, lower horsepower than any other mile and a half, flat foot racing, and big wrecks.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
This thing got like a 92% in the good race poll.
Yeah.
Everybody says best race of the year. Next week they'll be griping that we have no horsepower and the sport's full of gimmicks.
Well, because Chase didn't win.
Well, but even if he didn't,
yeah.
I think people get this 90%, which I think, and I'm not saying it's not a good race. It was a great race, right?
Yeah. It's the best super speedway.
There's like a devil on my shoulder that's like, but it's like artificial.
It is artificial.
It's very artificial.
It is.
So if you're NASCAR and you're like, we should listen to our fans, right? We should listen to our fans. And your fans are like, we need more horsepower. Everything's a gimmick. And then you're like,
you love
they
Atlanta,
just said
though.
this was the best race.
Yeah.
We reconfigured it into like a gimmick, more or less. I use that word loosely. It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
reconfig. We made it into a super speedway.
Yeah.
We lowered our horsepower. We got a 2-foot tall spoiler on the back. Tons of drag, low horsepower, really off throttle time it's there.
It is there
but
now.
It's not,
it wasn't there when they first went there.
No, but it's still not crazy.
No.
I mean, it's just like to set yourself in the corner or to like set up a run, and everyone says it's the best race ever. So if you're NASCAR, why would you listen to these people?
Exactly.
Because y'all don't know what you want.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want. And a 23 car wreck is insane.
No, it's ridiculous.
And nothing about that is cool.
No.
In my opinion.
No. There was nothing good about that messed absolutely everything up that you wanted to see.
Yeah.
You want to see the most cars on the track at any given time, and for that to happen, just throwing literally to where there's now 9 cars that could win the race.
Yeah, I mean, there was
dude.
like 15 cars with no damage.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I mean, Carson Hocevar, who was in that wreck, finished 10th.
Yeah,
So
and drove back to the front.
And I don't know who was at fault. It was just such like it was hard to tell really. So I don't really want to get into that. But I don't know how to say, I guess, what I want to say or what I'm trying to convey. But it's like
But if it's not reconfigured like a super speedway, though, that never happens.
Right.
Yeah,
But if it's not reconfigured like a super speedway, all these people won't think it's the best race ever.
I know. Yeah.
So I think it was a good race. Was it entertaining? Yes. Was it cool to see that? Yeah. They're hauling ass. I mean, they're going fast, but it's not like for a race fan.
No.
Does that make sense?
No, I think that makes sense. The thing that I and Junior talked about it too is like if you're at Daytona and Talladega, you're kind of shaking in your boots right now because you're not getting that same racing
Right.
as a super speed. I think that's the other thing is like this track will eventually, it's still going to be considered a super speedway for a while, but golly, it's going to get further and further from super speedway racing every year, I think.
Well, I think that NASCAR will continue to modify the package to get it to stay what it is.
So they're going to continue to lower horsepower then.
I think they'll probably continue super speedway horsepower, but they'll just continue making that splitter bigger.
Yeah.
Spoiler. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
Spoiler bigger.
And putting more downforce in it, whatever they can do, because like I think they could go up to 670.
Yeah.
On that track, and we would probably think it's a good race.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we'd have that exciting finish. It was a great finish. I mean, that was crazy. But like I don't leave that race weekend thinking like I saw the drivers showcase their skill.
No, I
At all.
Yeah.
And like and I'm fine with that a couple times a year, but we're up to 6 of those.
Yeah.
We're up to 6 of those.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And my biggest fear is like you said, kind of shaking your boots for your Talladega Daytona. I'm shaking in my boots for all the other mile and a half.
I know.
Because I think NASCAR is so like what's right in front of them that they're like, how can we do this to every mile?
This is how Kentucky gets back to the circuit.
Yeah.
This is it is a
but
blueprint.
I don't want that.
No, I'm 100% with you. But if I am SMI or NASCAR right now, dude, I'm calling up NASCAR. If I'm them, I'll be like, dude, we'll do this. We'll do this at Kentucky. If you guys will come here again, people love it.
We'll throw the banking up. We'll shorten it up.
Because it is the same exact track that Atlanta was. I mean, not exactly, but
it's close.
You can make that track there, and it be exactly like that, and bring that track back. And I'm with you. I don't want to see that. I don't
want to see that. And I think drivers like they think it's fun, but like they don't feel like they're. And I'm putting words in their mouth, right?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like drivers feel like they're making a difference.
No.
Right? The only people that really love it are like the Corey LaJoyes.
Yeah.
Corey LaJoy said it was his favorite track,
Yeah.
right? The Daniel Suarez is the people that like don't have half a chance anywhere else,
pretty much, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean that used to be their Daytona Talladega. Obviously, we have a problem with that package, but I don't know, man. It's just I don't leave there and get warm fuzzies. It just feels so artificial.
It does. It feels like they have manufactured this type of racing here.
Great word. Manufactured.
Yeah, they have manufactured it. And it also, I think, just felt even more weird with everything surrounded it, even with the bracket challenge. It just felt like they wanted the craziness to happen here. That's why they put it as the round 1 of this bracket. But at the same time, when you have a 23-car wreck, that's not
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and I guess the big one I'm looking at is like Ty Dillon versus Denny Hamlin. In any other track. I don't think Ty Dillon has ever beat Denny Hamlin when he's finished a race.
No.
You know? Never.
Yeah.
if Denny Hamlin crosses the start finish line, I can almost guarantee it's in front of Ty Dillon every time.
For sure. As it should be.
Yeah. But it's almost like when you look at other brackets and stuff like that, and I know I'm going a little off topic, but that's like every team in March Madness, their star player gets hurt on the same day.
Yes.
And it's like, you want to see the best competitors be able to make a run at this. And
For sure.
And
you don't have a chance now.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance.
I'm going to cut you off because
Yeah,
I want you to save your bracket. I have a bullet point on that, so I want you to save that thought. We have to talk about Chase.
Yeah.
Breaking his winless streak. We have some Chase hate on this podcast.
44 win streak.
So I just wanted, to all the people that think we're Chase haters, I just want to talk right now about the resiliency, the tenacity, and the pure talent of Chase Elliott to grind out a win when half the field wrecks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. How did he do it? How did he do it?
It was tough.
How did he do it?
I mean, he didn't even start in the back, dude. It was like he was in 5th place, I think, when the wreck occurred, and the wreck was like from 8 on back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he didn't do anything but just ride around. You know, and I will say, that takes talent.
That does take talent.
It takes a lot.
I just think it's crazy that I was thinking about this today, you know, because I was seeing all these like Chase people on social media. They're like, he was more aggressive than he ever has been. I was like, he was aggressive.
He was.
Can you imagine?
He left Bowman out to dry like 7 times.
He did, which I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
You hated that when we were watching it.
I did.
Yeah.
I did, but I thought about it, and you know, I don't like the whole teammate helping each other to win.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I give you that.
So I didn't hate. I have to be fair. I think in the moment I was just mad because it was Chase.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I don't hate that happened. Now at the end, Bowman won Chase that race for sure.
Yeah.
And that was, he just had to do that because the other thing is even if Bowman isn't Chase's teammate, his only chance to win was to push Brad up there.
Yep. Exactly what he did.
Hope that. Well, he didn't at the end.
Yeah,
I'm saying after Chase passed him.
Yes.
He would have had to push Brad back up there, hope that Brad and Chase get racing, and then
do exactly what Chase did, which is pass 5 people at one time.
So even if you're Bowman and Chase isn't your teammate, you're gambling that Brad doesn't win that race after you push him up there, and then somebody 28th, 30th in points jumps you on the cut line.
Yeah.
So he really... I mean, he helped Chase first and foremost, but kind of the 4D chess of it, or whatever you want to call it, is you can't have somebody below you in points jump you off a win.
Yeah.
So he kind of had to take what he had.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this. Can you imagine if Bubba Wallace won this race, right? Half the field wrecked out, and Bubba Wallace won the race. What would everybody say?
Oh, it's a gimmick.
He can only win when half the field wrecks.
Yeah. But when Chase doesn't.
I want everyone that's a Chase fan right now to think of your least favorite driver.
Yeah.
Okay? And imagine they won this race.
Yeah.
And how would you feel about that?
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing about Chase Elliott because I got a text today from a guy that means a lot to the show. Really do.
He does,
I care a lot about him.
No, we love him to death.
Yeah, we love him to death.
Yeah. But as you know, if you're a friend of ours, we're gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
And we want it right back.
Chase is now number 2 in points. And if it was the old Winston format, he would be number 1.
Yeah.
Y'all take shit. But clearly, the points show that he's been the most consistent driver all year. Wow.
We ain't ran that format since 2003.
That's what I was thinking.
That's all I'm saying.
Meaningless.
That's meaningless.
How many championships would he have? Probably Joey Logano. You know? Joey Logano, 3 championships?
I think someone as smart, knowledgeable, and caring as Noah Pendry should pick a better driver.
He really should. It's wild.
It's wild.
You would think he's from Dawsonville, Georgia.
You would.
You would.
A man of that character should not be a Chase Elliott fan.
Never.
Yeah. But congrats to Chase. He broke a winless streak.
He did, and he's going to go on another winless streak again. I mean, we can start counting now. You know what we ought to get? We ought to get a counter right here, right above our ice cold beer served here sign.
Right.
And it says last time Chase Elliott won. And we ought to just keep that rolling. Like how many
rolling,
days?
yeah.
How many days till
I
Chase
think we
Elliott
should
won?
start every episode 57, season 2, 3 days since the last Chase Elliott.
Yeah. yes. That should be how it is.
But I think let's say we go to Chicago. Mm-hmm. A monsoon comes.
Yeah.
And 25 cards, right? I'm placing a live bet on Chase Elliott.
Yeah. You're placing a live bet. You're also placing a live bet if the rain comes on Austin Cindric to stay on dry tires, right. as you do
Exactly.
And then you're hoping and praying SVG wrecks.
Yeah.
That's the only shot Chase has to win.
So congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh, hold on.
He did it.
Hold on. I'll do it for him. Oh, wrong button. Oh, my bad. My bad. Wrong button. Applause.
So,
Chase Elliott.
no, but congrats to him. I think Bowman did what he had to do. Bowman needs a win. That's on Bowman.
It is on Bowman
at this point.
But he's got a couple shots. This is going to be a good stretch for him that he could get it done.
He's had a good stretch. He had that terrible summer stretch, or June, or whenever it was when he finished so bad.
I'm saying the races.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
Yeah. So I agree. I think that it plays to his talents, if that makes sense. All right, so I hope you're still holding your thought. Bracket update. Out of all the brackets filled out on NASCAR's app, do you know how many are still good?
2.
0.
Yeah, of course they are. I mean,
how do you feel about that?
I mean, if
it shouldn't be easy.
It shouldn't be easy. At the same time, it's like, do you probably get at least a handful if that race plays out probably like it should, with there's no freaking massive 23 car pileup. Probably get a handful that are still right. A lot of people are still going to bust, which is exactly how March Madness is. I mean, there's still a handful.
Right.
They get them right.
There's a few.
There is a few normally.
Now, our sample size is nowhere near March Madness either.
Not even close. But, yeah, you would still think that out of, 16, that you could get 16 right?
You would think.
Maybe
10.
Maybe 10.
I got 7.
I can tell you, anybody in our bracket challenge, no one got to 10.
Crazy.
So,
crazy.
No one got 10 picks right.
So I think my frustration started with the seating.
Yeah, the seating was horseshit.
The seating frustration I've thrown out the window.
Yeah.
And now my frustration is, why is Atlanta, even if you want to do Atlanta, I understand. But round 1?
Yeah.
That's insane. Because I looked at it and the seating didn't matter.
No,
at the end of the day. We had a 23 car wreck.
Yeah. It was exactly like I said. You want to make this way more interesting. You want your heavy hitters to get past the first round.
Yes.
That's what makes a good tournament fun. There's always going to be a Cinderella. There always is. But to literally set it up at Atlanta, at a super speedway, you are asking every Cinderella to win.
It's all Cinderellas. Do you know the only people left that have won a race are Chase Elliott? Who just won the race.
Who just won that race.
All the people left in the bracket, the only ones that have won a race this year are Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Who just won a race.
I know.
So to me, I was like, even if you're a casual fan, as me doing March Madness, right?
Yeah.
I maybe do a little bit of research. I can see the record. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I'll pick an upset here. But if it's Kentucky and the 16 seed or whatever, I'll pick Kentucky.
Of course.
I have enough knowledge to where I can make an educated decision. If you're casual and you came into this, you're probably this is the dumbest.
1 versus a 32 seed, you're picking Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. And even if you know nothing, you're like, okay, well, I'll do a little research. You just type in Google Denny Hamlin. Oh, he's got 3 wins. Okay.
How many does Ty have? Oh, he hasn't
0
ever won a race
in his career. Yeah. So naturally, you're like, okay, that's probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Denny.
That's a safe
I'm not gonna
pick.
pick my upset here.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting or whatever you want to call it. But if I'm a casual fan and I filled out this bracket, I'm probably this is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, you're probably not gonna watch.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch. You're not going to watch the next one because sadly the next one is going to be the complete opposite of what we just saw. Literally.
Yeah.
To me, you throw in again, like you said, if you want to do Atlanta, have it in the 3rd round. when all your
The sample size is smaller,
way
so
smaller.
You have a better chance.
Even if there's a 23 car pileup, you still have a chance of your 8 drivers to have a chance to still actually be running. So it's like, can I have one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would still have a shot for those 8 drivers to still not be caught up in that and having a legit chance to actually get around there. Like when every car goes to the garage and it's having to be worked on for 25 laps. Dude, that's not what. That's the other thing. Like you said, a casual that maybe hears about this bracket and goes, "Oh, this could be cool. Let's get into this a little bit," and then they see that if you have watched 6 NASCAR races in your life, you think that's normal when it's completely not even close to normal.
No.
Ever.
No.
It doesn't happen at Daytona or Talladega that often, really. Unless it's the last lap.
Right.
It doesn't happen in stage 1 where you're like, oh my, what are we doing? And it's just chaos for the entire race.
I think so to me, this in-season bracket is supposed to bring excitement not only when there's a lull in sports in general,
yeah,
right? But if I'm NASCAR, I'm doing this bracket maybe when we have our lesser races, right?
Yes.
Do you want people to get excited about Pocono? Make that round 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I have something to watch for.
Yeah.
I can make educated guesses.
Yeah.
But when someone blows a tire, maybe that's an upset.
Yeah.
Right? And there's 2 to 3 upsets. But I'm actually watching Pocono, enjoying it for once in my life because it's round 1.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So why are we not stacking? Why are we not playing into what's our boring races that we have to go to?
Yep.
And I say boring objectively, I guess, in a way, because I don't mind watching a
boring
Pocono.
to 65% of fans.
Right, exactly, right. So a Pocono, right,
Yeah.
to where most people are like, this kind of sucks.
I would love to get the Jeff Gluck poll on Pocono. It was probably low as hell.
Very low.
Yeah.
Very low.
Yeah.
So take that, like a Michigan, a standard mile and a half, even our short tracks now, they kind of suck. Mm-hmm. Let's run our bracket challenge then.
Yeah.
Stack this schedule, put the bracket challenge in, and make that the manufactured excitement because the drivers are going to race the same way.
Yes.
It gives us something to look at.
Yep.
Atlanta didn't need any extra stuff in it.
No, we've had a 3-wide finish there. We've had great finishes there. Like as
Yeah.
far as
The last thing we needed was something else.
Exactly. The last thing we needed was something else like this to happen, and it did. Congrats, Chase Elliott.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get into our stance. I know are we going long here? It seems like we're going long.
Yeah, we're in it.
We're committed now.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
in it.
So I got this brand new idea, Spence, and this is a little inside baseball for y'all because you don't see our show sheet.
Yeah.
I've decided to bold print
I like it. Who
the
won?
new ones.
Yeah.
So then we know.
Good. That's
You
good.
like that? It
I
only took
do.
me 57 episodes
Yeah, it
to have
did.
such a brilliant idea.
I know.
So I want to start with SVG Suarez. SVG got him. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. Did you hear? Daniel Suarez out.
Out.
So I listened to our podcast a couple weeks ago when it was me, you, and Colby. And in the overview, I think it was, I said, I got a hot take about Daniel Suarez. I'll say it later. I never said it.
You never said it.
I hate myself.
But that was it.
What I was going to say is Daniel Suarez is out.
Yeah.
Is out. And I've been saying this. I have the tweets to prove it.
Yeah.
I said way back when Zilich is getting in there.
Yeah.
And then when Zilich won Pocono, because we know Zilich can win on
Any road
courses.
course.
Any road course.
Yeah.
He won his first ever start
Yeah.
in Xfinity. As soon as he won on something that didn't have right-hand turns, I was like, Daniel's gone.
Yeah.
Daniel's gone. So
And he was.
And he is.
Mi amigo.
Where does he go?
I think that's the tough point. I think he goes to Xfinity. And I've been hearing a lot of people say he's going to light the world on fire. I'm kind of like you. I don't think necessarily he lights the world on fire. I possibly see him maybe. It's so tough because I don't know who's looking to move up in. Because you think he has a connection with Joe Gibbs. You know, maybe he gets in. I think the best fit for him would be a Joe Gibbs Xfinity ride. Mm-hmm. I just don't think there's any available.
No, well, I mean, they'll push a kid out if he brings more money.
Okay,
They will.
yeah.
And that's kind of all of Xfinity.
The other thing is, does he bring more money?
He has a lot of sponsors.
Okay,
Yeah, so he has a
okay.
lot of sponsors. Carlos Slim, who's like the richest man in Mexico,
Yeah.
has pretty much funded Daniel his whole career.
Okay.
So if you ever wonder how someone can land at someone can be at 3 top tier organizations and get fired from all 3.
Yeah.
It's because the richest man in Mexico is funding him.
Yeah.
Nothing against Daniel. I wish Daniel was better.
Yeah.
Great guy, it seems like, but he's just not good.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
You know how many Xfinity wins he has? Including the one he just won.
4.
4.
Yeah.
4,
Yeah.
dude.
No,
4.
no, yeah, I don't think he would ever light the world on fire. If you put him in Eric Amarola type of style there, I think he can get some wins. And
he should.
And he should.
And he
exactly.
should, yeah.
He should. But I think it would be a good fit. I think the question is like, what's his end goal to get back to Cup? And I just don't know if that's actually in the cards anymore.
Not at this point.
I don't.
Not at this point. I think he's done. He's done.
I do too. And so to me, where he lands will be completely up to him. Like because in the cards, I don't think it's for him to come back to Cup. So it's like, why really race an Xfinity car? You know,
I think just because you don't know anything else to do.
Hunter, how long does he do that though? 2 years?
I mean, Justin Allgaier's 39 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could see one of those. And so
I think that would be good for Xfinity,
It would
though.
be great
Yeah.
for Xfinity. It would be. And we've talked about that before. Like, I would love to see Xfinity go more towards that. Like, have your veteran guys that get like the old truck series, like we talked about. You had to get through your Crafton's still there. Your Johnny Sauters, your Ron Hornadays. Like, you had your veterans that the kids had to come up and, like, you didn't race them like asshats, right? Because, like, they would pull you aside and they were going to dominate. And so if Xfinity turns it more into that, that's great. I think what we're seeing in Cup, as much as people don't want to recognize this, the model, the charters, we are in an uptick regardless of the things need to change, right?
Yes.
Some things suck, but we're on an uptick, and we'll talk about that when we end in like 3 hours. But
it's Austin's first episode back.
Yeah,
he has a lot to say.
Yeah, but I think there's an uptick to where we're seeing more of these guys that maybe were just there because of sponsorship or like because it was a good story. We don't have to do that anymore, right?
No.
Corey LaJoy doesn't have a ride.
Yeah.
How much longer did Corey LaJoy stay than he should have?
Oh, probably 3 years.
A while.
Yeah.
I think this win in M format kept Daniel Suarez in his ride probably 3 years longer than he should have.
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, the sponsorship and the good stories start to outweigh when the model's getting better and we're hiring people for talent.
Yeah.
Zillich doesn't bring any like family money. Now, Zillich is a Red Bull athlete. I'm sure that's important.
Yeah.
But Zillich is a Red Bull athlete because he is a phenomenal race car driver.
Exactly.
Right.
Same thing with and it's funny that Trackhouse has gotten these Red Bull guys because that's what SVG is as well. I mean, he's a Red Bull dude. So is Connor, and with that big presence coming up, I'm hoping exactly like you. Like, let's lean more towards that talent, and nothing wrong with those big sponsors backing them, but they also, it's not like Connor's dad is the CEO of Red Bull, or his mom is.
Josh Berry in the 21.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the trend I'm seeing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe that's me wanting to see that trend, but it seems like more and more we're kind of funneling out who shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And we're getting more towards the people that should be.
And I think hot take, next on this list is Cindric.
I could see it. I could see it now. I feel like
he's got a little bit. He's bought himself some time now.
He's in the Suarez boat, right?
He is.
He's done just enough.
I know.
He's done just enough.
But I think you could compare their careers. Maybe not their stats as much, because I do also think Cindric is a little bit better.
He is.
He is better. Yeah. But at the same time, he's in a phenomenal ride.
Yeah. The problem is, who do you put in that ride? Who could you get? It would have to take somebody moving from a big I think you and again, I say that now. I don't think this plays out until like 2 or 3 years later. Yeah. I want to say I agree with you 100%.
I think you get Josh And I think that's that next step for Josh. Josh gets 3 more wins, or has a 2-win season. That's not crazy. I still think he could win 3 this year.
Yeah,
and that's also me.
I'm not gonna. Colby's not here. I'm not gonna argue with you.
I know. But he has a 2-win season next year, the year after, something like that. Has a win the next year, 2-win. He builds on this. We're seeing that. Hey, Cindric is barely scraping by, wins another super speedway, and it's like, man, wouldn't you love to have a guy that could probably get in that car and maybe win a couple more mile and a halves? He definitely has a long way to go with the road courses, for sure. That's where Cindric has got him really beat. But I don't know. I kind of that's where I see that. That to me is besides the big names like Austin Dillon or but to me in a premier ride right now that is on kind of that warm seat, you could say, to me is Cindric in that boat.
Let me ask you this: if you took, because I think back to a Joe Logano who got fired from a Joe Gibbs, right, for just not cutting it. Granted, he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And Roger Penske put him in their car.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at someone like maybe Noah Gragson.
Yep. Yep.
You think Noah could do better than Cindric in that car?
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I
You
do.
do?
I do.
I think
Noah's a gasser.
Noah is a gasser. He is that same level that Carson is to me right now, except he just doesn't. They don't have the speed to show it.
I know. That's why I'm saying put him in a Penske car.
I know. I think he would make a lot of people mad very rapidly. Not saying that he wouldn't take to it eventually. Mm-hmm. You give him those 36 races
much like
a year.
Joe Logano.
Much like Joe Logano. That would be a great experiment. I would love to see that.
I think there's so much talent out there. We have all these guys that are really good.
Yeah.
And not enough top tier rides.
Yeah. Not enough top tier rides and not enough ownership laying it down to where you'll get good talent in those rides. Because I think you could speed up everyone's career by 5 years if you would hire for talent. Like, you can see talent in the Xfinity Series. Yeah. You can.
I think Zilich might be that. If Zilich comes in, we're assuming Zilich gets the 99.
Yeah.
Who else? It's going to be Zilich, right?
Yeah.
If Zilich comes in and is immediately successful, I think it changes the model like that.
Yes.
I think people are like, well,
yeah,
what? Yeah, I can take sponsorship money, but if I can just get somebody that can win me a race.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know.
And not somebody that can give me a race where I'm gambling that they win a super speedway, like an Austin Cindric.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I think we all need to be on Team Zilich.
Sadly, the only competitor he's going to have is SVG.
Yeah,
like that,
which would be awesome.
It would, dude. Oh my God! Imagine them going at it in Mexico like they did.
I don't think it'd be a 16-second win.
It'd be way closer.
Way closer.
Maybe 0.16 seconds.
Exactly.
I mean, it would be a barn burner.
All right, so let's finish our standouts real quick then.
Yeah.
But we had to talk about that.
We did. That was big breaking news.
Cindric Barry got it.
Yep.
These are kind of all ridiculous because it was like, yeah, this guy finished 30th, this guy finished 27th.
Yeah.
Hocevar Gibbs. Hocevar finished top 10.
Yep.
Wild. So 6-13.
That was a big win for Carson there.
He's kind of making a run.
He's
got some ground to make up. Mm-hmm. And Ty, anytime he's beaten Ty now, Ty's on his heels.
I think the sad thing is Ty could really get him in these next couple races with these road courses.
I think he could do.
Yeah, that's what the opposite feeling I have about and I guess Suarez SVG is kind of not as important as it was, because we know Suarez.
I think we got another guy fired.
Yeah,
if y'all remember last year,
we did this,
and we
got fired.
I think we got Corey LaJoy fired.
We are so good at picking standouts. I mean, we are, but I think this is where SVG really does make that run. I still think we have to keep track of it just to see how it plays out.
We're this far.
Yeah. But I really do think that SVG can get that to, 9 to 14 or something like that right there. And that makes it more interesting, for sure. Because then SVG is racing in the playoffs. Yeah. Suarez is not. And so it's like SVG should at least finish top 16. You would hope.
You also got to think, what is Trackhouse's incentives to put a lot of resources into that 99 now?
Yeah, well, it's 0 now.
0. You got 2 other guys in the playoffs.
Yeah.
especially once the playoffs start. And Suarez, I'd put money on it, will not be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lame duck season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just showing up and logging laps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Bubba Briscoe, Bubba got him.
Yep.
So 10-9. This is our closest one. Well, Cedric Berry's close too, actually. But I feel like this one's just a little more intriguing.
It is.
I don't know why, but it feels more
because
intriguing.
Briscoe should be winning by a large margin. Even though he has a win, it's still, dude, Briscoe is, to me, and I've said it before, I do not have faith in him. I don't.
So crazy.
I know.
He just won a race. I'm a Briscoe
so did Chase Elliott. Now, granted, it didn't take Briscoe 23 lap pile up to do it.
No,
but,
that's true.
But I mean, it's one of those like I don't know. And it's weird because I'm a Tony Stewart guy. And Tony Stewart backs Briscoe like no other as well. And I have not seen that same out of all those Joe Gibbs cars. I am even more worried about Briscoe than I am Ty Gibbs. It's just, I don't know why. But I just have no. Maybe it's something about the 19, because Martin got out of there and Martin was trash in his last year.
He wasn't trash, but
I'm sorry. Okay, he was
trash. He's all right. 2023, he won 3 races.
That was 2023.
Okay, 24, he didn't win a race. I'll give you that.
I don't know. Maybe we're just building on that. I think the other thing is when you have Denny Hamlin and you have Christopher Bell in that garage on that team, dude, you expect a lot.
Yeah, and he's doing more than Ty Gibbs.
You are exactly right, but for some odd reason, I still just don't have the faith. So
I think big Bubba fans here. Obviously, we're not Bubba haters, but Bubba needs to get on the wheel.
Dude, Bubba needs to. Yeah.
It's
everywhere with 2311 right now, though.
It is.
Tyler Reddick has been trash.
Tyler Reddick has not been good either, but I will say, obviously the Suarez news came out, and everyone's like, isn't it crazy Bubba still keeps his ride? And I'm like, that's wild. So I go and look at their stats.
They similar?
Pretty similar.
Wow.
Suarez has more top 10s. Now, granted, remember, everyone forgets that Bubba ran this 43 car for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
A long time.
He did.
And that was not a good car.
No.
And then 2311, that first year, it was not a good car either. No. But Suarez has been at Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
He's been at Peak Stewart Haas, and Trackhouse when they were really good too.
Peak Stewart Haas.
Like
Kevin winning 9 races a year, and he's over there. He's over there in that 41, just absolutely
missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but I think Bubba's got to find. I mean, I hate to be so hard on him, but he's got to find it somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And Tyler Reddick has not won a race this year, but he's comfortably in the playoffs.
He is.
He's comfortably in the playoffs.
We expect that.
And I'll say the same thing about Bowman. I mean, I see Bubba and Bowman the same way this year. Like, you've got to find something because there's no excuse.
And it just really hurt Bowman a lot with that Chase win.
It did.
It hurt
now,
a lot.
Chase was comfortably in too.
Yes.
But you would hope that when we go back to Daytona at the end of the regular season, Chase should be instructed to be glued to the back of the 48's bumper.
100%. If he doesn't win one of these road courses here.
Right.
I still have confidence he can win one of these
road courses. He's not going to win Chicago.
No, I didn't say Chicago.
Okay.
I said he could win one of them.
Okay.
He could win Sonoma. He's not as good at Sonoma, but I think he's better at Chicago than he is Sonoma. He's won Chicago.
I know.
Okay.
It's perfect storm.
Okay.
I like Bowman. You're not going to find a bigger Bowman.
I know. I'm just talking out loud.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Let's move on. I'm sorry.
All right, Chicago Street Course predictions. I have a cool stat for you. I don't know if you're reading it here.
Yeah.
Did you know this before I said it?
I did not know this.
Okay, so this weekend we have obviously all 36 charter spots.
Yep.
We have a 40-car field. There are 5 cars going for open spots.
Yeah. Will
Brown, the Supercars champion.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting all these guys from Australia now. We have Austin Hill. Josh Bilicki. I like Josh Bilicki. Pretty good road course racer. Corey Heim and our girl, Catherine Legg. So that means we have 41 cars going for 40 spots. This will be the first non-Daytona 500, big asterisk there, first non-Daytona 500 did not qualify since Fall, Texas 2018.
Wow. That's a
Okay.
crazy stat. I mean, who doesn't make it? Leg?
You said it, not
Okay.
me.
Okay. I mean, honestly, to me, it's between Leg and Austin Hill.
Yes.
Is Austin Hill a good road course racer,
No.
though? Okay.
No.
Interesting. I mean, honestly, dude,
But
I would love to see Catherine Legg in there and beat one of these guys out.
all it would take is one of those guys to slip up in practice.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, in qualifying.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be Will Brown, personally.
You, don't think so? You wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so.
I was looking at his odds not to jump forward, insane. He has minus odds on the top 10.
I mean, that's the SVG effect.
100%,
Yeah.
but you're like, you still
And
can't
he's ran
touch
a race
that.
before. He's ran a cup race before.
Still, you can't touch that.
No, you can't.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. I was going to suggest that in bets.
Yeah,
so.
no. Again, I thought about it because I had to do a little research on him because I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, minus 115 for him to finish in the top 10? What's his background? Oh, supercars? I don't care if he's the champion or not, dude. And again, he may have more talent than SVG, but you can't bank on that.
No.
Because when SVG came in, dude, he was like plus 300 for a top 10. And then finished second.
Crazy.
Or whatever it was. And you're like, okay, that guy's got some talent.
I wish we were doing the podcast back then because I was on him.
You were on him.
I was
You were
on
on him. So
immediately.
you were texting me. I was like,
Yeah.
who is this SVG guy? And you're like,
He's gonna win.
He's a supercar guy. He's going to win, dude. He's from Australia. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then he
won.
Yeah, dominates.
Yeah.
So.
Nuts. So I do just want to say real quick, we kind of alluded to this earlier. I think this is a good sign of NASCAR in general.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, we have enough people wanting to show up.
Mm-hmm. Who's Will Brown running for?
I think he's running Colleague because it said the number 13 car.
Do you have any affiliation with Trackhouse at all?
I don't think so.
That's surprising.
I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes?
I know that
SVG did last year. He was Colleague.
I know, but
and it was basically a Trackhouse car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I will say, out of all the teams right now, I know this is off track again, but we're in it. You know, we're in it right now.
Yeah, we're in it. Yeah, there's no pulling back.
Dude, Trackhouse has been the best at finding talent right now. There's no one,
Yes,
but
yeah.
you cannot
And dumping
convince
them when
me.
they don't want them.
You have to, though, if you're
No,
going to
I
find
love
talent.
that. They're running it like a business.
He is exactly he's running it like every other sports team is run.
Yes.
And that right there shows you how far our sport is behind in some of these things. Like when we're complaining about, dude, if a quarterback does not perform, he's gone.
Immediately.
If a running back doesn't perform, he's gone. But for some odd reason here in our sport, you can stick out. And I know there's anomalies in football as well. I mean, Aaron Rodgers being one of them right now. Who's just sticking around the league longer than he probably needs to. But we consistently have guys that hang around longer than they're supposed to, and I can rattle off a ton right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch, Brad Gay, these guys that are just sticking around sometimes, and not them.
I mean, I would go more towards the Austin Dillons.
I am too.
The
I know.
Ty Dillons.
I know.
Yeah.
But yes,
The Dillon family.
but you guys know those guys that just hang around probably way longer than they're ever supposed to. And God, I would love to see, Will Brown come in there and get a top 5 and be like, hey, this guy's got talent. If I'm Colleague, if I'm Carson Hocevar's team, Spire. Sorry,
yeah.
Spire. Maybe I'm looking at getting rid of Michael McDowell. Maybe and
Justin Haley.
Haley. Any of those. No offense to either of those guys, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. And exactly what we said with this format now, dude. Justin Haley's only chance at really winning is at a super speedway.
Yeah.
And when you don't get it done, and you can put a guy in your car tomorrow that could go out and win one of these road courses or something like that, and that has more raw talent, dude, you have to snatch that up.
Yeah, because I think you're exactly right. If you take a Justin Haley, and you say he has 6 chances to win all year.
Yeah.
And they're all the super speedways.
Yeah.
Right? And those are coin flip at best. Mm-hmm. And then you let's pretend SVG's not at Trackhouse and he's available.
Yeah.
His odds on those 6 road courses are way better than Justin Haley's 6 at super speedways.
Yes.
So take that.
Yeah.
Because 16th in points is better than...
You almost double it, because if you're taking those super speedways, which SVG has the same shot at winning, honestly,
Probably.
plus
Yeah,
the road
yeah.
course. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit lower, but
Yeah.
I would say it's no lower
Yeah,
than
but when we have a 25 car pileup,
it's no lower than Justin Haley's chance at a
Yeah.
super speedway. To me, that's even. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally.
so you may as well give SVG like 8
Yes,
chances.
8 chances.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
That's a good point. But no, I think that's a good sign for NASCAR. We got people wanting to come out and race, and someone's going to go home. So
Yeah.
old school. That's what people want.
Yeah.
I wish we had people that go or go homers. We got it.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's at your favorite racetrack. You old school NASCAR fans.
Yeah,
It's
it
at
is.
freaking Chicago where
Yeah.
y'all didn't want to go to begin with.
Yep.
So take the good with the bad is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully no rain. Last time I checked it was like 50%.
yeah. I mean, I am hoping if it's gonna rain, let it rain the whole time. I am fine with the rain as long as it's like I don't want what we had at where we were just at, where SVG won, Mexico. I don't want like half rain in the dry. I want it to either be wet or I want it to be dry.
The problem with Chicago is when it rains, it doesn't drain. So and then we don't have lights, and they for some reason they want to start it at like 2 or 3 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then if we have a delay, it's going to get shortened.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm fine with rain. Honestly, like Mexico rain would be better for this track,
Yes.
where it's just a little bit off and on. That's fine.
Well, because it's way tighter too. Like you
yeah,
said,
and also
then
like
they're
we don't
able to-
need anything that's going to delay the race.
We don't need.
Is going to shorten the race,
Yeah.
and then it's going to be
That's the last thing.
I mean, that's kind of what happened to Bowman last year. Is they didn't have to pit. If that race would have ran the full distance, he would have had to pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Tyler Reddick had pitted and got tires,
Mm-hmm.
started in the back, and ran out of time. Now, granted, he fenced it and
Yeah,
screwed himself.
he did.
But that was kind of, and I'm not nothing against Bowman, but like that's kind of what led to Bowman winning.
Also, what led to Bowman winning also was SVG literally.
Chase Briscoe, you remember Chase Briscoe
Yeah.
wrecking him?
Yeah.
Like lap 6.
Yes.
In a
So-
monsoon.
In a monsoon.
And then we delayed the race.
Yeah. So it was like, yes, Bowman did win the race. To me, SVG Tyler Reddick probably should have won the race.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's cup
Yeah.
racing.
Mhm.
So likely the last year. So they signed a 3-year
Yep.
contract. I feel like this race hasn't had a fair shot. But regardless, you're talking to somebody that hated the idea of street racing because I said that's not American, that's not Cup,
Yeah.
that's not NASCAR. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I want this race to have a fair shot. But either way, even if it's a barn burner, probably the last year.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the last year. I just still think and we've talked about it before where they should go. I still think they should go to New Orleans next.
Yeah. I think they're going to San Diego.
They are,
Yeah.
which would be cool. California, you don't have to worry about the rain out there at all. To me, though, this track needs to go somewhere in the South.
Yeah.
But
New Orleans, I think, was your best idea ever.
Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve happened.
yeah, no, I know.
I'm sure no one wants to go there.
Yeah.
Especially on the streets.
Again, you don't want cars driving down the street very fast there.
Right. No.
But but
Leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. But I'm excited to see them at San Diego. Not confirmed yet, I guess, or is it confirmed?
Not confirmed.
Yeah,
but all but confirmed.
Yeah, all but confirmed. I am glad that they're gonna continue it. I guess I'm fine. They have done a really good job of perfecting this course. I would love to see the course layout in San Diego.
Yeah.
To see how that works, but no, it's one of those that I wish that I would have got to go to. Like I would have went.
Yeah,
to Chicago.
man. I wish I would have too because I actually have family in Chicago.
That's
And I should have.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess I could make a phone call this week, but
yeah, let's go.
probably not going to happen. SVG domination. That's the last thing, and we'll roll that into bets.
Yeah, you have to bet on him. I mean,
All right. So what do you have?
All right. Okay. I went top heavy here. I'm gonna hit you with the one that I feel confident, went very top heavy in it, and I normally don't have success with these, but I don't see why not. SVG, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott top 10. Parlayed.
Okay.
Plus 106. If Kyle Larson can just not qualify 25th, he's fine.
You remember last year you buried it in the tire barriers.
I know what he did, okay? But he's still good at road courses.
I was listening to Parker Kligerman's podcast. You ever listen to that? The Money
I've
Lap?
not listened to Money
Really
Lap.
good. It's super nerdy.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like into.
Yes.
And this was complete not nerdy. It was just like his opinion. Parker Kligerman said, ever since the Indy 500, Kyle Larson is a human.
Wow.
And you think about it.
He's been right so far. I think Kyle Larson could snap out of that, though, at any given time.
I hope so.
I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah, he's a human, but he's still a better human than a lot of the other guys.
As a Kyle Larson
driving.
fan, I'm not used to this drought.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. But I think Kyle Larson's going to be a car to beat.
Okay, I'm with you. I mean, he should be.
He should be. To me, his problem at these road courses is just not bringing him a car or him taking so long to get used to the track when he's at practice or when he's at qualifying, and he just starts so far back, and we know how tight this course is. I feel confident, dude. Chase Elliott's not going to win, but dude, he somehow finds a way to get to the top of these road courses. He is good enough to finish in the top 10 at these road courses. SVG's probably going to win. Kyle Larson just doesn't do. If he starts 10th, I'm loving this.
Yeah,
like I am loving this because I don't think he's going to go backwards. Like we never really see him go backwards unless something happens.
Yeah.
That he gets caught up in something, which he did at Mexico. It was not his fault at all, but he shouldn't be starting back there. He should be one of the top 5 to 8 cars. He should be
stay
in
out
that.
of the mess.
Yes, stay out of that. So plus 105, I went a unit and a half.
1.5 units. Plus 105 or plus 106?
Plus 106.
Okay.
Plus 106. I'm liking that one a lot. Next one,
It's half our units.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I told you I went deep. I feel I'm not worried about Chase and I'm not worried about SVG. I'm worried about fucking Kyle Larson himself.
Be.
Yeah. I mean, he's checkers are records, dude. Every week it's ridiculous. But you can't not bet on him sometimes.
No, I know. I get it.
So next half a unit. So I have 3 half units that I'm gonna bet. I have 3 different bets. SVG winner.
Minus 750.
Plus 185.
No, he's not.
Yeah, plus 185.
Plus 185 to win?
Favorite. So he's the favorite. Kyle Larson is plus 650. The next guy in line. Yeah. Insane.
All right. So they're on him. But I mean, I just still didn't. Plus 185. I mean, I figured. I don't think we're F1 with minus odds, but
no.
I mean, I figured like 105.
Yeah. No, plus 185. I still think you have to do it. You
have to.
You can't miss out. Half a unit on SVG. And then I went Ty Gibbs top 5 because I think Ty could be good. Plus 150 half unit. He showed me a lot at Mexico. He can get around if he doesn't. Pretty much his crew chief doesn't make crazy mistakes, or decide to.
Did you see they pulled Chris Gabehart, who's the director of competition? He's like crew chiefing basically.
He's crew chiefing.
So he's like holding the hand of the guy that's screwing over Ty Gibbs, I guess. So I feel better about that.
I do too. So I feel he's going to be fast as long as they have everything that they need in pit lane and they make the right decisions. I think they're going to also play to win this race, which always better at super speedways. You don't want to bet on a guy that's not trying to win the race particularly.
Yeah.
So I think Ty is in a good spot to get a top 5. And then my last one, AJ Allmendinger top 5.
Ooh.
And this is kind of like a little dark horse. I'm hoping Ty or AJ finish top 5 and we'll be good.
Okay.
Plus 275. He can easily do it.
Yeah, I don't doubt his ability at all. It's just like they never bring him a car.
I know.
They never bring him a car.
They never bring him a car. He also got put out early at Mexico as well. He was in.
He did.
He was in that
same scrum.
He was in that same scrum that Kyle Busch caused because Kyle Busch is washed. Probably needs to be in a nursing home. Right. And as long as he can stay away from Kyle Busch, you are exactly right. They never really bring him a car, but sometimes they never get to work on their car because they're out so early.
Right.
So
'Cause Kyle Busch slams the brake.
Yeah, because Kyle Busch forgets that when you make a 35-degree turn that you need to actually hit the brakes, you know.
Before.
Before you get to the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Probably washed. So, yeah, those are my 4 bets this week. We are only down 8 units after last week. We hit Chase Elliott.
I like that.
We hit Chase Elliott, which was big. And I'm really hoping that we can kind of go on a tear here because we have Chicago, Sonoma, Dover. I mean, we're going to be heavy SVG for this week and next week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think you have to be, especially if SVG wins this week. Like,
Yeah,
dude.
I think Dover will be pretty straight up. We can pull some stats from the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But so we're down 8.
Mm-hmm.
The wheel's down 12.88.
Yeah.
Let me go over your bets and we'll pull up the wheel. So we've got, and Chase hit. So that's why we got to 8 units.
Yep.
So strategy 1 again. I think that's
been the.
it's lost once or twice, maybe.
I think it's lost twice. Yeah.
Because we lost on Atlanta this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the strategy's working more than it's losing.
Yeah.
But this week we've got a parlay with SVG, Larson, Elliott, top 10, plus 106, 1.5 unit. So going super heavy on that. SVG to win, plus 185, half a unit. Ty Gibbs, top 5, plus 150, half a unit. And then an AJ Allmendinger, top 5, plus 275, half a unit. What I like most about these is none of them contradict. So I know sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
But this gives me the feeling we can sweep. So.
Yeah, we definitely could sweep. It would, we'd have to have Larson and Chase probably in that 6 to 10 range to do that. But I mean, it's still possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah. I would love to sweep on something like that. To me, that would be top tier. I mean,
So let's spin the wheel. I'm not even going to do a wheel noise because I don't want to get bullied for it.
Yeah.
So no wheel noise. Just imagine in your heads that there's a wheel noise. Go back and play episode 56 for Colby's wheel noise. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
No.
I'm just not doing it.
You shouldn't do it.
So we were spinning. As you know, we'll spin the bet type. We have a top Toyota.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we got to pray for Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
That's the only. I don't think we've ever hit top Toyota on the wheel. Y'all were saying last week that you never hit top Ford. That was like at least the 4th time it's hit top Ford.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You guys don't watch enough.
That's coming from the guy that thinks Le Mans is in Daytona. And then argued with you.
Yeah.
That it was in,
he did. He was I literally was it's
he
in
said,
France.
You said, Le Mans, because you said it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
And then he goes, yeah, Daytona.
Yeah.
And you go, no. He goes, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
what
I don't know what's
thinking.
going on when I'm not here, but
Le Mans. I'm sorry.
Le Mans, yeah. If you want to say it the proper way, it's Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Yeah. I need to practice
it's
my Noah.
You gotta say it. You gotta pretend you're like you're Jean Girard.
Yeah,
and I am from Formula All right. We're hoping for Christopher Bell.
Yep.
What's the worst one we can get?
The worst one?
It's gotta be
Bubba
Wallace. No offense, but
Tyler
Reddick.
Dude,
I did not even think of him.
That's
honestly.
so good.
Top Toyota Tyler Reddick. The wheel is gonna win this week.
You want me to tell you what that's at?
I'm gonna guess plus 375. Because I think it's gonna go C-Bell, and then Tyler Reddick will probably be second. But it'll be plus 375.
Plus 375. He is plus 275.
275.
Yeah. It's Christopher Bell at plus 150, and then Tyler Reddick at plus 275.
How do I get a job doing the odds for?
I don't know. I doubt humans do it. I bet you it is all computers.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the worst wheel bet we've ever had.
No.
If we're gonna hit, it's gonna be that.
It is gonna be that. The wheel is gonna come through for us eventually, and I'm just praying to God I can get a lead up before it strikes.
You have a good lead. So even if that hits, I mean that would put us still above 8.
Yeah.
Down, I think. Quick math, but No, I feel good about that. I think good bet slip. SVG needs to just take us to the promised land, and we'll be all right.
I know. He just needs to win, not have to worry about it, and then we can go from there. You ready for the choose who's on?
I am. I'm going to look away.
Yeah, you look away.
So I want you, when you pull it up, to stop on the rules.
Okay.
Because I just have a question.
Okay.
Just tell me when it's up. We got 2 die-casts on the table. I just noticed that. You replaced them with Kevin Harvick's.
I did.
You took Dale Earnhardt off the table.
I did.
You took the gold Bass Pro Dale Earnhardt off.
He doesn't deserve to be there.
For the Outback Steakhouse.
No, it's a cool car, dude. That's when he was in a Chevrolet. It's a cool car.
No, I know. He won his championship in Chevrolet.
I know.
Are you ready for me?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Go to the rules, please.
Okay.
What's that first rule?
3 facts are given about any driver ever.
What's that first rule?
Any driver ever.
Any what?
It doesn't say only.
Any what?
Any driver ever.
Any what?
Driver.
Yeah. Who was it last time I was on?
Ray Evernham raced a car. I didn't say it was a couple.
Who was a?
He was a crew chief.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't know why.
That's the only thing I wanted to say.
You still should have got it. Dude,
if it would have said any NASCAR personnel ever, maybe
you still wouldn't have got it.
I thought we were doing drivers.
You should have got it.
All I want to say, put in the comments below, should there be an asterisk?
No.
On Spencer's record, because I don't know if y'all can read this first bullet. It said 3 facts are given about any driver ever.
It didn't say what he had to drive. He was in a late model.
Am I a driver now?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
any driver. He probably drove his truck to the freaking races.
I just wanted to.
It doesn't say any cup driver ever. It says any driver ever.
It was low down dirty. That's all I'm saying. It was low down dirty. It was low down dirty.
Maybe a tad bit dirty.
Low down dirty.
But you still should have got it. I was like, you were like, Jeff Gordon won. And I was like, yeah.
Because I was thinking driver. Yeah,
he did. Never did you ever think outside the box a ton because you're retarded. Sorry.
That word's okay now.
Shane Gillis made it okay.
All right. Well, hit me up then.
Yeah. 3 facts this week. I didn't get to go over the rules because Austin tried to, but 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 total guesses. His 3 facts this week: 4 Cup Series wins, a truck championship, Rookie of the Year '91. I feel like this one may be kind of easy. I may be giving you a layup here.
Yeah, I feel like this. I feel like I know this guy. I don't want to burn a guess straight off, but will you tell me who he got his last Cup Series win with? 'Cause I think I know. I think I know who this is.
You think you know who this is?
I think I do.
Or just burn a guess. That's more fun.
I'm in between 2 people now that I think about it.
He got his last win with
RCR.
This is probably going to help you, but I'll give it to you anyway. Andrew Petrie Racing.
That doesn't really help me.
Okay.
Because really the only person I know Andy Petrie Racing is like Harry Gant.
Already done him.
Yeah, I know. I know it's not Harry Gant. Harry Gant won 4 Cup races in the month of September.
Harry Gant, I believe, was our very first Choose Who's on.
Was he?
I think.
Okay.
I think
Mr. September.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Andy Petrie Racing. See, I was in between people like Jerry Nadeau and Mike Skinner is who I was in between. I was just looking at the word series. Why does that not look like it's spelled right?
I'm pretty sure it's spelled right. Is it
Maybe
not?
my eyes are playing tricks on me. Maybe I'm stalling.
Series, yeah. Series. Yeah.
Is that right?
Again, I'm not the great speller, as you guys know, but I'm like 90%
I know. Why does that look
7.
weird? Why does that look weird?
I don't know. Is it the
Rookie
font
of the
that's
year.
throwing you off?
It might be the font.
Okay.
Man, the Andy Petrie Racing, that's kind of throwing me a lot.
Okay, good.
It's throwing
I'm glad
me
I
a
gave
lot.
it to you then.
Because I should know that team better.
Yeah, you definitely should.
I should.
You should.
Not a big Andy Petrie fan,
Yeah,
personally.
I know.
I didn't like the way he yelled at Sheldon Creed a couple years ago.
No.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
Rookie of the Year 91. That's just making me think it's Mike Skinner. But I don't think Mike Skinner would have got a win. I think his last win would have been at RCR, but maybe he never won at RCR. I don't want to ask who he got Rookie of the Year with because I bet that was Andy Petrie as well. Where's this driver from? Will you answer that?
I'm not going to answer that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might be giving me more credit.
I know. Yeah. I think yeah.
I have 2 questions, right?
Well, you already used one. You have
I
one
know.
left. Yeah.
What year was his last Cup Series win?
His last Cup Series win was in 2001.
Is it Jerry Nadeau? Okay. So I was first thinking Jerry Nadeau. But the Andy Petrie thing, when I asked who his last win was with, I thought you were going to say either Hendrick or RCR.
Yeah. I didn't say any of those.
No, you didn't. I know that's the issue. And I'm trying to remember who would have ran for Andy Petrie. 4 Cup Series wins.
2 guesses left.
2 guesses left.
You can ask another question.
I know, but I don't think it's going to help. I think I'm going to dig myself in a deeper hole. And I still think series is spelled wrong.
It's not.
I know. I don't know why it looks weird. Maybe I can't spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rookie of the Year 91. I think I'm all over it with who I'm thinking. And his last win was with Andy Petrie. Not his first win.
You asked what his last win.
Yeah. I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
Just clarifying.
Yeah. It's Andy Petrie. Racing.
Andy Petrie Racing. I feel like I'm going to know this driver, but it might be one of those where I just didn't.
I think you're definitely going to know
His
him.
last win was 2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do what Colby does and write down all the...
Colby stole that from me. Well, no, if it's Colby, he just has to think of 36 people. Drove for Andy Petrie. Andy. See, I'm like kind of mind blown that Andy Petrie Racing was still a thing in 01.
That's what it says.
So I know it's not Mike Skinner. Well, no, because Robbie Gordon would have been running for the 31 car that Skinner would have been running at that time. Is it Mike Skinner?
That might be my favorite noise.
That's so tough, man.
You have one guess left.
This is a good one. I can tell this is a good one that you put a lot of thought into.
Yeah, I did.
Man, 4 Cup Series wins. Andy Petrie Racing, 2001. You think of people that have like very limited, like a Ricky Craven, but it's not him because he won Darlington in what, 03?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a Truck Series champion. Truck Series champions, you think of like, I mean, it's got to be some of your old school guys.
Yep.
Like a Todd Bodine, a Johnny Sauter. I don't think Johnny Sauter has any success outside of trucks. Ron Hornaday never won a cup race. But I don't think Todd Bodine did either. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Who's another good, like... like a Ted Musgrave. He wouldn't have had Cup wins. The Truck Series champion, it's like, did he get it early? Or did he get it?
I know.
And I wanted to ask that question.
You
but
should have. I would have answered that.
I know, but I'm not confident that I could tell you who. Like, if you were like, yeah, he won 1996, I'd be like, that means nothing. That means nothing to me. But if I'm thinking it's like a Todd Bodine and you said, yeah, it was like 2005, then that would have helped me.
Yeah.
But I don't think Todd Bodine has 4 Cup Series wins. I really don't. I really don't think he does.
I think it would have helped you a lot.
You think it would have?
Yeah, to know the Truck Series. Yeah.
And we're sure series is spelled right.
If you mention that one more time, you
Rookie of the Year in 91. See, that
lost your last
leads
guess.
me towards a Todd Bodine, but I don't think Todd Bodine has. I really don't think he has Cup Series wins. I really don't. And I know Hornaday doesn't. All right. I think this is wrong. Is it Todd Bodine? All right. Let me see it. Thank you for the drum roll. Bobby Hamilton.
You should have got that.
So I remember him in like it was like a blue car with like a yellow.
Yep.
Was that Andy Petrie?
Yeah.
That was Andy Petrie racing?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 55?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Andy Petrie?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I had like, for some reason.
He's from Tennessee.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't give you the hometown.
Yeah. Man, that was a good one. He has 4 Cup wins.
Yeah.
They have to all be at super speedways if they were in
Phoenix,
Rockingham,
Rockingham,
Martinsville, and Talladega. Wow.
Yeah.
2004 Truck Series champion. So yeah, he's like that.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't help me. I probably still would have said Todd Bodine.
You still?
I really still would have said Todd Bodine. That's a really good one. That car is, I don't know why, I just always liked that car.
I know.
That blue and yellow one.
Yeah, it's a good looking car.
And I don't know what the sponsor was. It was like a square or something.
Yeah,
on the hood.
I forget what the sponsor was too.
Yeah.
But when I was doing, I should have used that car in the picture, but I didn't. I just used.
Yeah, because I remember he ran the Kodak car too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see that car. I just want to see what that Square D. That's what it was. Yeah.
Square D.
Yep. So for some reason, you grow up and you have all these Hot Wheels. I had like 2 or 3 of these 55s. Yeah, I don't know why. You just end up with. I don't even know where those come from. But I had like 2 or 3 of those 55 Square D cars. Man, that was a good one. That was more than fair.
Okay, good.
It was a driver.
Yeah. Oh my.
And that's all I go for, really.
Oh
it's just for it to be a driver.
Dude, shut the hell up. You don't even know.
All right. Well,
your ass from a hole in the ground.
We had, how many people did we have do the bracket challenge?
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that. We had a list of 5 people enter the bracket challenge.
That's better than I thought.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all of you.
So 5 of you are in cahoots to win $50 from me and Colby that we're going to make Austin pay.
Right. I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So do you want me to start from the bottom? Because there's only 5.
Losers first.
Losers first. Do you want me to say names? We have to say names.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they submitted it.
Yeah.
So
loser, big loser right now, JD. Big loser.
And big surprise.
Yeah. Got 5 correct. He has 5 points.
Big tree fall hard.
Yeah. Also tied at the last spot, Catherine has 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're welcome, babe, for throwing you saying JD was a big loser. Next with 6 correct, Mr. Ben Burrow himself.
Okay.
Big supporter.
Big supporter.
Yep. Has 6. Next, who's not on the screen, but definitely a great listener, James Maples. 7.
That's it. I'm not surprised.
I know.
I'm not surprised.
He knows. The last one may be surprising.
Okay.
Not the surprising to the person who submitted because she's good.
Right.
But Brittany.
Of course.
With 8.
Of course.
8 points. She got half the bracket right. Killing it so far. So that's for our bracket challenge. Mm-hmm. So Brittany's winning. We have Maples in second place. We have Ben in third, and Catherine and JD are tied for fourth. Which I guess you could say fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Tied for last. We'll say that. And then for an update on me and Colby, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right myself.
Okay.
So I'm not doing horrible. Colby got 4. So I'm beating Colby right now, which is good. And then you, a little update, you got 7.
I'll take it.
So out of the drop
I
the
need
green,
it now because my final 4, I think all of them are out except for Busher.
Yeah, you need them bad now. So we're gonna double the points next week. So for every driver you get right, you're gonna get 2 points instead of 1, and we'll kind of go from there. So if your winner's still in, that's really good for you, and they'll continue to get more points every time you get one right. So third round be 3, or you could double it, whatever you want to do. But there'll be more points for every driver that moves on to the next round. I am currently beating Colby by 2, which means he would have to eat 6 pancakes right now.
Yeah, I wanted to ask more about that bet.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't it be like something y'all wouldn't want to do?
I don't think Colby wants to do it necessarily. I don't care.
I didn't understand that.
Colby wants to eat
like
pancakes.
That's like betting beers. Like, oh no, I guess I have to.
I mean,
you have to drink 7 beers. Oh shit!
I don't. What should it be then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not that. Not that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I could put some thought into it. I guess that's a good question.
You put a little thought into it.
Yeah,
man.
not pancakes. Pancakes would be probably the last thing on the list.
Okay. I love pancakes.
No, that's the problem.
Oh, okay. I don't think Colby has the same love.
I've got a question to really complicate the matters here.
Yeah.
Let's say you're one of our avid listeners, and you filled out a bracket on the NASCAR app.
Yeah.
So it's already locked in, and you send us that bracket now. Round 1 was already locked in, clearly, because it's locked in on the app.
Yeah. I'll make an exception.
Do we feel the need to open this up to people for maybe another week? Just to see what else we get.
I would be down for that.
I'm very impressed we got 5.
I know. I would love that number to be closer to 10, personally.
Yeah.
So if you can show me that you filled out a bracket on NASCAR's app, I can't do a screenshot of...
How did Maples did it the best way.
Yeah. You, which most of them all did that.
Okay.
You
just share the bracket.
Share the bracket with me on the email. All you have to do is email that shared link. I can click on it. I can see your bracket, and that shows me that you entered it in NASCAR, because you couldn't do that after a certain time anyway.
Because they have a hard deadline.
They have a hard deadline. So I will allow this week, if you want to send me that bracket on, it has to be via the NASCAR app. I can't get a screenshot of the bracket. It has to be via that link. That is cheating.
Yeah.
Because I cannot determine when you filled that out. But if you send me that link, I will be glad to enter. We'll tally up the round 1, and we'll move into round 2 and see what you got and see where you end up. So I would love to get that number. I would love to double that number. So if you filled out a bracket, just send it to me.
Because I know we have listeners that definitely filled one out. They're just lazy and they don't listen.
Yeah. And
so
that's
props
fair.
to these 5.
And another thing, I try to do a good job, and I'm normally not, but I'm getting better at it. I have my hands full over here, especially when the guy that you started this with never shows up or does any work.
Right. Yeah.
I put this all over Instagram.
Okay.
Did you not see? Did you see it?
I did see it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So I did my due diligence on this. You didn't even have to listen to the pod to enter this. I put this on Instagram. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, that's your fault. And you need to follow us on Instagram. I would love to get those followers up to around 100,
Yeah.
So
plenty doable.
Yeah, plenty doable. So, but yeah, I will allow, if you send me your bracket, we'll give you one more week. If you are not, I don't know if you'll be here or not, but if we record on Wednesday again and you don't hear your name, that's it. I'll give you another 7 days, though.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I mean, we got some people that
we did.
Are stragglers, and we did record a day late.
We did.
So
we did record a day late.
We'll give a little grace period.
And it was a Saturday race.
Yeah, so we give a little grace period.
We'll do a little grace period. Send me that link. Email is dropthegreen05@gmail.com. I'll throw it in the description again in case you need it. But yeah.
That's all I got, man.
That's it.
I appreciate all your hard work. I know you are.
I'm down.
You're very silent about how much you do on the show, but I just want to bring.
Yeah.
I just want to bring it to everybody's attention.
Dude,
you don't.
I actually got a call the other day from God. He worked on a big podcast. I think it was called like Joe Rogan or something.
Okay.
Yeah, worked on a big podcast and told me, "Dude, do you have experience in this?" because you're kind of good.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thank you, Spencer, for everything, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Yeah, y'all be good. Shout out Noah Pendry,
right.
Kevin Kirkland, Ben Burrow, JD Huggins for the song. So shout out to you guys. Let's get out of here.
All right, see y'all.
Back down that valley where the roosters crow and a man defends his own. I got no problems if I stand alone. Hard times still 10 toes down. You learn pretty quick, you better stand your ground. Ain't nobody coming down. You get what's yours or you